Lift off. Yes, welcome along. Another Saturday, another Racing Post Live. Myself, Dave Orton. Thrilled to be back in the seat with you in association with Betfair this afternoon. Let's have some fun, people out there, shall we? Dual purpose are the two words that we're putting together. And we've got a great panel with that in mind for you as well. Yes, Cheltenham is back. Happy days, says everyone out there. And we've also got a small matter of the last domestic Group 1. That's 3:35 up at Doncaster, but not our last race. We go up to 4:10. They've stuck in a fiendish-looking 5-furlong handicap. Rain all over the place. Surely those jump trainers can't stop. Got to stop, haven't they? When's the rain coming? When's the rain coming? It's here. Get your entries out. I've got a little bee in my bonnet about that. Me and Charlie Poste are going to have some banter about that, aren't we, Posty?
Without doubt, yeah. I mean, rain everywhere, heavy Doncaster, heavy Newbury, fast at Cheltenham.
What's that all about?
Who knows?
They've run out of water, haven't they? Kate Tracey's back with us.
Yeah, like I say, it just seems like jumps racing is cursed. We've got the autumnal conditions for the flat, yet jumps are still rapid everywhere.
Yeah, all right, okay. Interactive show, guys, that you can see you can get it in. There's the market. We'll be learning all about the exchange and the sportsbook as ever here on the show. If you're new to it, the great Barry Orr joins us from Dublin, and he'll be educating you along the way, Barry, right?
We certainly will, Dave. Yeah, anyone who watches the show knows that we use Sportsbook and the Exchange on Betfair just to show the difference between the two. Obviously, on the Sportsbook, all the good offers and additional places, and then on the Exchange, it gives you the ability to set your own odds. You're betting against other customers, so there's no bookmakers' margins in there. And the best odds are always on the Exchange as well. There's a great Sportsbook offer this weekend. You bet 10 on racing multiples, you get a £10 free bet on racing multiples for today, Saturday, on the Sportsbook. That's been a massive positive with all our customers, Dave. They've really loved that bet 10, get 10 on racing multiples each Saturday that we've done for the last couple of weeks. So it's making a comeback again this Saturday.
Love it. All right, great stuff. So like and subscribe if you're out there. That's the way you can get your chats in. Ask Barry all the questions. We know that he's going to try and hit it out the park again. Of course, look, there you can see it's been all about safer gambling this week. The industry-wide initiative. Huge thing now, Barry, this, isn't it?
Yeah, safer gambling, Dave. It really is so important. Obviously, you know, for Betfair, I think Betfair is in our name, and it's something that we live by. And obviously, we need to shine a light on the great things that and how positive betting is for a lot of customers. But there's some customers where it's not so positive for the risk of playing and betting. And it's important that operators like ourselves provide tools for people who have issues with gambling, that they can help control their gambling or self-exclude altogether. There's deposit limits, there's loss limits, there's budget calculators on site, there's timeouts that you can take, there's game time check-in, and there's obviously the self-exclusion that you can introduce as well. So there's a whole host of functions on each operator's site that if you feel your gambling is getting out of hand, or that it could be an issue for you, that you can address it there and then on our website. Just look for the Safer Gambling banner on top of most of the operators' websites, and don't be afraid to look at the various different options you have there, and they're there to help you, and that's what they should do.
Yeah, listen, that's what it's all about. Absolutely, Barry. That's the hard thing, isn't it? Actually seeking that advice. And you can see it, look, BeGambleAware.org, basically. Look, it's a great initiative, this, here at the Racing Post as well. We think it should be, 365 days a year, basically. So set yourself some limits. That's very important. Only bet what you can afford, of course. Don't chase your losses. That's the golden rule. You don't need to bet on every race. We will be playing in every race today. Barry will be doing it for charity. We'll be giving you our tips in the race as well. So there you are, guys. Do not be afraid to go out there. BeGambleAware.org. That it is. All right, Safer Gambling Week has been good to watch, isn't it, this week? That's for sure. All right, okay, let's move on, shall we? Because we're 150. Newbury we're going to. Pretty sloppy out there, isn't it, guys, at the minute? Yeah. They've had bundles of rain as well. Devo comes back onto the show and opens up. You can all do this. Get your shouts in. He's one of our regulars, is Devo. He says, oi, oi. Afternoon all, waiting for Augustus Rodan. Again, I'm going to struggle with these names today.
You will call him at some point.
I wanted to call him August Rodent because I've got a feeling he's not that big. But there's going to be a range of opinions about this horse. And I'm going to come to Barry in a minute because, Barry, this is your horse. And he says, I'm waiting for him to go nowhere on the ground so I can back him for the Derby.
Mm. He's a 7-1 favourite for the Derby, Dave, on the Betfair Sportsbook in the anti-post market. So If the ground is the issue with him, he's not going to drift significantly once he runs a half-decent race. I don't think the ground's going to be a massive issue for him. He won the Champion Juvenile on Irish Champions Weekend in Leopardstown on soft ground, and it was soft ground that day. So I don't think the ground's going to hold a massive fear for him. He's out of a Galileo mare in Rhododendron, and he's by Deep Impact. So this guy, he's a really, really good racehorse. They're not going to knock him around. Like, if he really isn't going on the ground, he's not going to get a hard race, obviously, with next year in mind. But I can't wait until he steps up to 10 furlongs and a mile and a half next year. He's a proper racehorse, this guy.
There you go, a proper racehorse then. So that's 3:35. Like I say, not our last. We'll be going to Cheltenham as well. There's been some volatile markets out there as well. We've got a Potemps qualifier. That's when you know you're back jumping, right? Only the top 4 can get into the fun. It messed around with some of the rules. Will be if you want to know the changes, ask in and we'll let you know. Top 4 now qualify, of course. And Charles Burns has brought one over.
Yeah,
that's kind of him, isn't it?
Yeah, wonderful. After he goes and cleans up Cesarewitch and then comes back and tries to take one of our Potemps. Well, we think he tries to take one of our Potemps, but like you say, with the rules that have changed with the Potemps, it was 8, then it was 6, now it's down to 4. So you effectively have to try a bit harder to qualify. And of course, they have the lesser qualification Potemps races in Ireland, don't they? So they have to come over here to
Who'd have thought Botox Haas wouldn't have gone off favourite in that, you know?
I know, he's very well handicapped, isn't he?
He is. So we'll be joining Cheltenham at 2:05. First race of the day is Horace Hill at Newbury. It's 1:50. Now, let us know where you're watching, guys. You know, I always ask that. I'd love to know where you are. I don't know, the sun is out, isn't it? But there's rain all over the place. If you're watching inside, let us know where you are. And Marlon Allen comes on. Hi from Barbados.
Oh, lovely.
Ever been?
No, I'm not.
Ever been?
No.
Barry, been to Barb's?
No, can't say I have, Dave. No.
The fact that you've called it Barb's. I don't know what that says about you.
I've been.
Does that mean you've been there?
I've been. I went on my honeymoon there, yeah. Bit of Sandy Lane. Oh,
I'm
absolutely
sure.
fantastic.
It's more that you called it Barb's.
Barb's.
That's the colloquialism if you've
Lost
been
a little
there.
bit of respect for you.
Paul Nichols has just won the first race in Cheltenham with his only runner on the day.
Ooh.
Is that right?
Isn't that remarkable?
Sure.
Isn't that remarkable for the McNeil family, isn't it? Yeah.
If only St. Palais had gone in it.
Why is Paul only having one runner now today? That's remarkable, Barry, isn't it? Ground.
Ground.
Oh, here we go.
Big entries at the end
Here
of the
we
week.
go again. This ground. How much
gone.
rain do they want? It's been everywhere. I was doing Carlisle during the week. A 3-runner race at Emmett Mullins took the first. He's a good horse, by the way.
10 mils of rain at Cheltenham. The ground is still good. Dave.
Come on. Yeah, I mean, we need rain. We
Now's
need
not
rain.
the
The
time-
rain's here.
Now's not the time to panic.
It
if you're a
turns
jump
soft
trainer.
so quickly in the week. You know what it's like because they water these grounds, right? So when the rain comes, it goes to pudding and they're pulling horses out. You can't win.
No, you'll be fine.
I don't know.
Loads
I don't know.
of runners.
Not
at the
happy
end of the
about
week.
it. We've got Charlie Hall coming up next week, haven't we? Then it's Betfair's big month, of course, starting off in the fighting 5th. We've got the Tingle Creek. It's all to come, isn't it?
Yeah, exciting times.
Horse to follow. What was your horse to follow? Oh, here we go. Yeah, should we get this out of the way? You put up a horse
So
to
you teed
follow.
me up for that just so you can
We did the
smash
big
me.
jump off. Yeah, I put out it came out, and we asked you to do a little video for us with a horse to follow, and you did.
And so I may as well give some insight to something that I actually know about.
Another advert. We've
Yeah.
given you another
So
advert. Not only are we paying you for your services, but
He
we're
might not
advertising
even run
for
that
you.
much this year, but a horse called Salt Rock. He's in training with Kim Bailey. I think he's all the attributes to be.
Kim had a winner at
Very
Ludlow.
good
Is
horse.
it Thursday or yesterday? Yeah. So he's going to hit the ground running, isn't he? Oh,
I
it's
daren't
exciting, isn't it?
ask him how he's getting on because you know what he's like. He give me some sarcastic answer about that things aren't good.
Did you get that one beating a point?
No, he bolted up.
Oh, did he now? All right, okay. All right, so again, we're dual purpose here. Everyone on this show, well, everyone that usually comes in has a foot in both camps, don't they? But it's a great time of year, this. Newbury as well coming on. It's going to be pudding as well. Shall we get the market up then for the 150? It's run about T-minus 10 minutes to the first race here. 9 races we're bringing you this afternoon. Like I say, like and subscribe. That's what it's all about. You can give us your shout-outs. Let's hear from you. Who are your horses to follow through the jump season? Are you on? Shoot First is the name. It's Charles Burns' plunge horse. Philip Burns, I'm assuming that's his son. Claiming 7. That is, of course, in the last of, 3 races we're taking. We've got, of course, 4 races, I should say. We've got Pied Piper coming out to play as well, haven't we? Night Salute.
We have, yeah.
That's going to be
really
good. Aesop's Fables runs an enlisted race at Doncaster. Lots of people talk about that in the chat
massively in
already.
grade, yeah.
Yeah? Feeling confident?
No, not at all. Excited, but definitely not confident about today's racing.
We've had a pre-match meal, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, you took us to your favourite place. Barry supposedly likes it too.
Yeah,
Barry's
a big
favourite
fan.
place. You know where we went for our pre-match meal, Barry? The Trusty Calf.
Lovely, yeah. Beans with chips.
Baz, yeah, and Dave couldn't finish it. I mean, a few too many red wines last night.
right.
He was suffering.
Charlie.
I know.
I'd have done my money
Exactly, mate. Yeah, I mean, hopefully that doesn't set a precedent for the day that the hot favourites
I'll
getting
tell you
turned
what,
over.
unsurprisingly, Kate had I mean, the plates are humongous in this place. And, the great racing minds have been in the CAF now, and we've even got you two in there.
Yeah.
So there you are.
Made a good fist of it, though, didn't we?
I could feel the
You
history.
had a great go.
I could feel the history.
You could sense.
Yeah, I could sense.
You could sense the tradition.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was sweating at one point. All right, great stuff. All right, let's have a little look. What have I got? We've got Jack Reeve, of course, doing our socials today. How much rain do they want? He's clipped me up already. Dave Orton isn't happy with some decision making from some trainers. Thanks, Jack. Let's get it out there. We're missing Graham Rodway, aren't we? So why not have a go? All right. So are we sort of end of season feel about the flat, or are we still happy to have a go? I've napped on the flat today in the 2:30 at Doncaster. I like Wandering Rocks, by the way, a race that we're not covering, but that's
I'm still happy
what
to
I'm with.
have a go, yeah, for sure.
You can get some real value out there, can't you? Because all of a sudden the softies come out.
Yeah, that's it. And time of year horses, your Max Vegas and such like for your end of season
He's
horses.
a price, isn't he?
Horses. Isn't he? Just about 18, I think last time I checked.
In
Anyway.
the Hamish race.
Yes, Hamish he's either a sound price or a terrible price. And again, I can't tell.
What do we make of the Vertem Futurity as well before we go on and hone in on the Horace Hill? Is it a dreadful race, or is it? I can't work it out. I cannot work it out.
No, I mean, you got the Derby favourite in there. You got one of Gosden's. I think it could be potentially very good. So yeah, I think it's
The beaten horses from the Orton Stakes.
Yeah, but I think he's a work in progress. That horse. I thought he still looked quite green. Just got beat by a more experienced rival at Newmarket.
The one that we cannot pronounce properly, Epictetus.
Epictetos.
Epictetos. Let us know what you think about the Vertem Futurity. Are you with August Rodin or are you against? Barry's with. He's getting that out of the way already. But what is the play in the first, Barry, the Horace Hill?
In the Horace Hill, I like that. Can we do our each way double first?
Lovely.
Kate?
Yes, for sure.
What we're going to do, usually we did a lucky 15, but I fancy an each way double today. We're going to keep it simple. And again, obviously a double is a multiple bet all the way up to a Heinz and beyond the Goliath and that sort of thing. But if you bet £10 on racing multiples today on the Betfair Sportsbook, you get a free £10 bet. So we can't lose here, really. So what we're going to do is, please, Kate, we're going to look at night here in the 150. Currently around a 7-1 chance, 3 places on the Betfair Sportsbook. And then the real whacker in the 350 in Cheltenham. It's 5 places on the each way sportsbook, or 5 places each way on the Betfair Sportsbook there. So the double is night, and the real whacker, we're going to have a 25 quid each way double.
Whoa. 25 quid each way.
Now, if we were doing a 5 each way double, it would be a free bet for us, basically, because we get our tenner back having invested a tenner. So let's see how that gets on.
Would not be too bad.
Right. Putting some pressure on himself in the first.
For the 150 itself in the Horace Hill, like night, we're going to back it in the each way market, 3 places on the sports book.
On sport.
1-7 furlong Yarmouth Maiden by 2 lengths. The time was slow enough now, but he couldn't have done it any easier. He was really, really impressive. He was a Vertem Futurity entry right up to on Monday. Half brother to Malavat, who is trained in France by Francis Graffard, and has excelled on soft ground. That filly has. Won a Group 3 in Deauville just a couple of runs back on heavy ground. So hopefully he'll inherit some of his siblings' tendencies for the soft ground. So going to have a 25 quid again each way on the sports book. Really fancy this horse to be at least in the first 3.
Perfecto.
There we go. Yeah, he's a price, isn't he? The Horace Hill, let's have a look at it then from a historical point of view. It's often run on soft ground, this guy, isn't it? Heavy indeed. Light Infantry won it last year. A horse that pushed in Spiral Close and now goes down under. What else has won it in the last couple of years? I mean, it's
Mahatha.
Mahatha? Who's Mahatha? You would call it Mahatha, wouldn't you? I'm glad you're here today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. I'd have gone northern on that. But
Kenzai Warrior, he was second. Was he second in the
Roger
Guineas?
Teal. Roger Teal, who's got a runner in there. In fact, it was not quite these colours, was it? But the gelded Coraggio.
Yeah, he's related to another Rogers decent horse, isn't he? I feel like he is.
Is he?
Yeah, tip to win.
Oh, in the same colours,
Yeah.
of course. Probably.
Yeah.
Yes, it would be an owner breeding operation, wouldn't it? The very talented Tip to Win, of course. Yeah, all right, should be all right on the ground as well. There was a slight bias towards low numbers, maybe. So, I don't know. 9 runners here go to Poste. Shouldn't be too much in it.
No.
The owners of Knight are having some time of it, aren't they? I mean, they've put out a lot of investment in, but their horses always seem to be there or thereabouts.
Yeah, this season has been ridiculous. I mean,
Sakir.
Sakir is going to be the number one.
Eldar.
Yeah, Eldarov then as well. Yes, so like you say, the money that they're then pouring into this as well. I mean, yeah, I wish them every bit of success. And I remember I was actually on the radio the day before, or was I in here? The day before Knight made his debut, and I flagged up that KHK Racing Limited had a debutante the following day then at Yarmouth for the Crisfords, because they have sort of shared out their...
They have.
2 of their trainers as well, because we were saying the Crisfords, Roger Varian, obviously, most notably for their horses though, and this lad really took a keen interest in him then for the following day, and it was just at a time where the owner could just do no wrong with any of his horses whatsoever, and Knight duly confirmed that it was only a newcomer's maiden. The form of it has worked out pretty horrifically ever since, to be fair, but Rajasthan, who finished 3rd, was well back for that. Overturned as the odds-on favourite yesterday, but I still think ran a solid race anyway. Came up against a newcomer, against a near-side rail as well. But yeah, I still don't ever underestimate Yarmouth maiden or novice form. We see Charlie Appleby using it to optimal effect time and time again. So I like Knight as well.
And you like the real whacker.
Yeah, and I like the real whacker, who could be anything, as Barry and I were discussing beforehand then, that he could still be anything on this handicap debut, with the Anne Duffield yard having their revitalisation then this season and last season, with Angola, of course, winning the Swinton. So, yeah, I mean, it's all there, isn't it, for that yard?
The ex-Mullins horse, of course. Yeah,
Yes.
that's right, of
Big
course.
Galileo.
Yes. So good to see the Duffields having a fancied run of them, but they're up against a couple of plunges, aren't they? And what Paul Keeley yesterday was telling us, and in his Saturday Sizzlers today, your members clubs, and those of you that have got your newspapers to hand, the best handicapped horse anywhere in the country in Botox has as well. Bit early just to be thinking about March, isn't it? Of course, because you get him qualified. You know, you can put him away. He's so well handicapped.
He is incredible. I mean, on that Fontwell form, I mean, he's ridiculously well in, isn't he? But he only got put up £1 for that.
Yeah, which, how is that even possible?
Yeah.
What's going on there?
How is that? I know that we're being more lenient with our British handicapping system this year, but £1.
Well, we've got to do somewhere. You've got to do something to even the balance up, haven't we?
All right. Before we go down and find out what everyone else likes, so Kate and Barry both on Knight then. Looks like a bit of a price, doesn't he? And once race maiden winners, novice winners do win this race, historically. So, all right, OK, let's get some socials up each way, of course, and you can see Barry's selection there. Hit the like button, folks. Absolutely, Andy Nichols. That's what we... Am I always saying that, Andy? And 2020 says, Lord of Biscay to get me off to a good day. Seamless link. Dave and Will. Not Will. Dave and Sam in the studio today. I don't even know who's doing the show. The producers out there. But they do know that I like Lord of Biscay. I must admit, I sort of and ah'd over him and Knight, actually. And I even think Gray's Monument has got a chance. But I don't like the Fav, basically. Which is, I mean, Godolphin took out the Cox Plate this morning, didn't they? With Animo.
Yeah.
They just get everything right. He's wearing a hood. We're watching Striking Star Games at the Post, guys, on our TV screen.
He wore one on debut, though. I don't see anything in that.
I just don't like them.
But Charlie Appleby, he's not afraid to do it. I mean, he's not afraid to geld them, and he's definitely not afraid to put a hood on them first time
Best horse in a hood.
Emily Upjohn last weekend, first time hood.
So Gosden's seemingly, I didn't like it because I thought when you pull that hard in a King George and then to have it, I thought it was on for. She actually, you're right, Gosden first time hood is seemingly a great stat, isn't it? But I just don't like them. Tell me, okay, that's Group 1 winner, I suppose. So, Emily Upjohn. Who's the best horse that wears headgear? Come on, guys, you can get your questions in for that out there. But I like Lord of Biscay. This form has worked out well, and it's Roger Varian and Andrea Azzini back together. Is not for being paid by he who must be obeyed anymore, is he?
No.
Sheikh obeyed. So that was quite an interesting story, wasn't it? But Lord of Biscay, I think he might go on the ground. I mean, it was a good novice. He won. He beat a horse called Obelix, who's come out and won since. I know they like Sea Eagle of William Haggis's, and My Lion's come out and won as well. And again, he's pretty solid in the market, isn't he? This guy's Lope de Vega, he'll be absolutely fine. Lope de Vega, who's Bayside Boy, isn't he, of course? Bayside Boy's half-brother.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah.
Who's a new Bay.
Well,
that's the side that does like soft ground, but Lope de Vega's
Bay Bridge
fine.
as well, great
Bay Bridge.
What a day for the new Bays.
Yeah. I sort of felt for a bit for Bay Bridge, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Everyone's concentrating on Baid, weren't they?
Yeah.
He deserved that Group 1. Right, we're nearly going in. Barry, what's the market saying after we've spoken? We'll get to Poste in a second.
Yeah, 3.35 striking start. Gray's Monument just on a little slide. Haven't been well back in the last 24 hours of 6.2. Lord of Biscay very strong 4.4. 12.5 Knight. 10.5 Carragio. 32 bar. He's been well supported as well. Carragio.
All right, yes, okay, that's a Roger Till one winner in this. You like the Beckett horse. Beckett won the first race, by the way, the 115.
Yeah, Gray's Monument, I'm pretty with him.
Hosed up, didn't he?
He did, yeah. I mean, look, granted, it was only a nursery, but he's by territories and they're very, very good in deep ground.
Yeah,
and
ex-Andre Farb horse.
Yeah, exactly. Blinkers on, it seems to have really sort of invigorated this lad. He's on the hat-trick here and he's had plenty of experience and I don't think he's got as much long-term upside as some of these, but he might be good enough today.
Let's find out then if that pays his way, because good luck whichever way you're going to play in the first then. For the charity double, Knight goes in the famous colours, I think we can now say, of Eldar Eldarov, and he's settled nicely in about midfield. He's settled quite nicely, actually. Looking out front, though, experience being put to good use here, Poste. You'll be loving this, because Gray's Monument out in front.
Yeah, no surprise at all. Like you say, he's bags of experience. He's very able to go out and do this, and I'm very happy seeing Richard Kingscote as well on the front end. Yeah,
the favourite wears a hood, Kate. He's in around about fourth. You can see why, can't you? He's a bit buzzy.
Yeah, he is. He's just a big tank of a thing there. So yeah, hood on Davey, hood on again then here. But he's travelling well enough then within himself. But yeah, the experience being put to good use by Gray's Monument for sure.
Yeah,
and the pace was holding up yesterday.
Yeah, Oviedo catching my eye. Lord of Biscay being given a very confident ride. Just one struggling out the back a little bit at the minute. It's defensive fort, isn't it? I think, Barry, we're around about 3 furlongs out. What's the market like?
Gray's Monument obviously now getting a soft lead up front, 2.36, clear favourite now. Knight into 6, travels well. It depends what he finds. Your favourite 8 to 8.
He's going real well, Barry. All of a sudden, the push comes to shove on Gray's Monument. Ancestral Land.
I think
a few of the Lamborn badges. Come on then, Knight. We're going to get this.
Knight.
He's absolutely tanking this one. Up against Ancestral Land.
Go on, David.
Yeah, 2 are going clear then, basically. Gray's Monument not totally done with, but he looks best booked for third at best. Come on then, off we go. We're off to a fly. Gray's Monument's coming back. You're not going to spoil the party, are you, Posty? No, Posty's going to finish second. First place loser as usual for him. And on we go. Barry's off and a running. The double's on the move, Barry.
Dave, happy to say, Knight. Betfair SP at 12.9, so double figures for him. Gray's Monument, who was getting the soft lead out in front that time, hit a low of 2.3, which is around the 11 to 8 mark. Nothing else really traded short in running. It has to be said, obviously Gray's Monument when Knight took it up then. Ancestral Land tried to keep Knight in for a couple of strides, straight at a low at 2 to 1, 3.0 in running. But convincing winner, loved the ground like his half-sister Malabar.
Yeah, look, it's not just a pretty face from Dublin. He does his own work as well. He's absolutely smashed it out of the park. Injured Jockeys Fund is our charity, of course. This month, they'll be very happy about that. I'll tell you what, all of a sudden, the real whacker just got a lot more interesting, didn't it? 350. Hopefully, some of you were on. Let us know if you were. He's travelled really well through this, Kate. I'll come to you in a second. Posty, you must be very happy at this point. Lots of those 2-year-olds hated that ground, I think.
They did, yeah. And, no excuses. Gray's Monument just not good enough. I mean, this horse looks pretty smart, doesn't he? Knight, he got into a good pocket, and when he's produced them and picked up, I mean, he's ran out a ready winner of this, stretched out well on the ground. And, I mean, like I say, you can see that they could he be? I mean, you think they're going to start him off in a trial next year, won't they, for the Guineas?
Look at his action there as well. He's definitely grabbed that ground, hasn't he? They've had such a strong end to the season, the Crisfords. They lit up the end of August, I seem to remember. It's just been winners since Jadumi obviously flying the flag for them on Irish Champions weekend as well. Lord of Biscay hated the ground, guys. Seen a few of you talking about that. He's just absolutely swimming on it, wasn't he? The favourite sunk in the first. Kate, you'll be delighted, look. She gets very, very, very touchy about this trophy.
Thank you so much. I'm going to make the most of it because it probably won't last long with Cheltenham coming back, so
Absolutely.
I will happily hold this dear.
Finish with a flourish, Posty, but you've touched the crossbar.
Yeah, for sure.
You've whacked it, haven't you?
Look, mate, I don't have any cause for concern right now. You, however,
I'm langing after the first.
I mean, today's a mess.
I got the wrong one
so far.
I got the wrong one. Absolute mess so far. All right, I'm thrilled to say we're going to Cheltenham next. A reminder about Safer Gambling Week, guys. Don't forget, of course, if you want to seek out any advice or anything like that, you can do so on Betfair or the Racing Post website, and it's safergambling.org. Basically, down the bottom there, you'll see that advert up. Don't forget to download the new app. Racing's greatest app just got even better. You can do that. You can go to the Google Play Store or the App Store itself, and the Hollow Ginge comes up, and he has been very strong in the market, this chap Barry, to avenge his defeat in the race last year.
Yeah, he's been really strong, Dave. It has to be said. Obviously, finished second in this race last year. He's been, he raced off 137 in it last year. He's 127 now, so obviously he's £10 better off. Traded short in it last year as well. Traded at 108, so 12 to 1 on last year. He started the season off in this race, obviously. He didn't raise a gallop thereafter, though, it has to be said, Dave. He was beaten 45 lengths in the Ladbroke Trophy. They did his wind after that, and he pulled up in the Warwick Classic in January. And then in February, he went to Kempton. He was beaten 24 lengths, and then he pulled up in Aintree in April. So obviously today is the day for him. His first run, a lot of the time, seems to be his best run. But just at the price, I'm willing to take him on. I thought it was a Captain Catastock had a chance. I thought the Wolf had a chance. Even Core Serene for the O'Neill, for John Joe O'Neill Jr., I thought had a chance as well. So willing to be a layer of this, Kate, please. We're looking to take 25 quid out of him. But we're going to set our own odds here, Kate. So he's currently to lay 4.1. We're going to tick it down. We're going to take it down to 3.95, and we're looking to take 25 quid of the backer's stake. So we'll have a liability of a little over 70 quid. And we want someone to come in and lay us that bet on the exchange.
How much was that in the backer's stake, sorry, Barry?
25 quid.
25 quid, there you go.
Yeah.
3.95.
So we want someone to come in and back that with us. We're the layer, obviously.
Perfect.
Will that be you out there? Let us know who you're playing with this. It might be Kate Tracey, because you fancy this chap, don't you?
Yeah,
it was all so nice in agreement about everything, weren't you?
Wasn't it? It worked so well for the first race, and now Barry and I have completely gone to polar opposites now with this. Yeah, Barry's laying the hollow ginge, and I think that he is the best bet in this race by quite some way, to be honest with you. I think, as Barry said, finished second in this race last year. That was off of a £10 higher mark than this year. You have to catch him first time out. He's a thinker about the game, but he's so well treated here. And when you look at his reappearance start form, twice he's finished first, twice he's finished second. The only other reappearance start he unseated. However, he basically didn't have a race because of that. And then on his subsequent start, he finished fourth at 50 to 1 in the Ladbroke Trophy, now Coral Gold Cup, whatever it is nowadays. So it is early on in the season is when to catch him. The old Hennessy is when to catch this horse. Now, he is a thinker. When he ran in this race last year, they went to Cruel. He wasn't suited by that, by the way the race worked out, because on the second circuit, they've absolutely sprinted. He's probably got there a bit too soon. Sam Twiston-Davis absolutely kicking himself about that, because he was nabbed by a Gordon Elliott horse up the run-in. He'll be much more live to that this time around. So, yeah, the hollow ginge, provided he's thinking straight this time, he should really win.
All right, OK. 2 opinions about the Fav. There's Kate's tip then. Hollow ginge round about the 3 to 1 mark on the exchange at the moment. There you go. Oh, look at that. It's a good social here from Dylan Barry. You'll like this. In Barry we trust, he says. And I think we've got our first anti-post quote of the day, have we, Barry?
Anti-post quote for that?
Knight.
Yeah, 2,000 guineas, 25 to 1.
OK. All right. So certainly worth 25 to 1 shots. Unbeaten horse, very well bred.
Yeah, softer ground if we get it.
Yeah, he's got scope as well, hasn't he?
He looks that way, yeah.
All right, OK. We're not throwing that one out of bed. All right, OK. Fine. All right. Let me. A reminder of the double out there as well. The first leg has landed. The multi's on the move. We love saying that. The multi's on the move. Absolutely fantastic. You're taking this Fav on as well.
Yeah, I'm Captain Catastock for the Fergal O'Brien team. Liam Harrison. He's on. Well, again, he's won his last 2. One round Cheltenham. I think he's won 2 or 3 times around the track already. And he stays very well. Fergal O'Brien's had an excellent summer, and I think the good ground will suit him. I think his best form over fences on decent ground. And I just thought there were plenty of question marks over horse in this. I mean, again, if we're promoting safer gambling, this wouldn't be a strong selection for me, if you know what I mean. It's more just we're playing in every race, as you said, and it would be a marginal call.
Do you know what? The 240 coming up would be my go to the bar race and just watch it. I'm very much looking forward to watching the race. Of course, Piper coming back, but he's too short for me.
Yeah,
he's too short for me. I might be completely wrong. Am I mad?
One thing for Captain Catastock, though, unbeaten over fences around Cheltenham, both on the new course, though.
Yeah, but he won round Musselburgh, and Musselburgh's a very sharp track.
True.
I don't know how many goes he's had round the old course at Cheltenham. I did think of that, but the fact that he beat the Wolf round Musselburgh, which is an incredibly sharp track, I'm not sure is that big a factor.
Batted it right back at me, didn't he?
He's quite good at that. He's sort of on annoying form today.
It was the hash browns that did it.
The hash browns for breakfast.
I never leave home without one.
No, what, hash browns?
Yeah,
You're a big fan, are you?
Oh, I don't mind one.
Everyone loves hash brown, don't they?
Yeah.
All right, let's get. I thought it was going to be social about hash brown then. But what have we got? Ben K88 says ginger classic back and play sleigh.
Interesting.
Interesting. Back and play sleigh. Ooh, okay. You're looking at those letters basically in the form. A horse that I'm hoping will bounce back, and he again, this is not a big race for me to play in. I think the Wolf will have a say here from Murph.
Are you a big, though, second run after the Windop fan, or do you think, does that not worry you?
I am, but with the jumpers, I don't know, like Paul Nicholls' first horse today probably had one, didn't he? Shearer, you always see the ones next to Paul's name, don't you? And they always
Over the summer,
seem to
yeah.
improve for it a little bit. This chap has had problems with his breathing, I think, because it's well documented, and he's so talented. He'd probably go very low at some point on the exchange, I would imagine.
Do you think he looks a monkey because of his win then?
I think that's what it is. I think I've spoken to Ollie about him actually at this chat, and I think it is something to do with that as well. He only went off 14-1, for the Scottish National. Win my wings. Do you remember that? Again, all these great memories from last season. Yeah. What's she going to do this season? That's going to be amazing, isn't it? And of course, the captain catch stop form. I thought it might come to it. Cursorine is interesting because he's got some big handicap form over hurdles. And it's not so good so far over fences. Although he's still hit a race post racing of 141. What's he racing off here today? He's 137, isn't he? So he could be an improver if he gets his act together.
Will the ground be deep enough for him?
That'd be my concern.
Good question.
Yeah, that's it. We know he likes dig. And I mean, what's our time of our first race saying at Cheltenham today? Because obviously, as it was the times
Charlie
to start with.
Thinking it's good to firm times.
Yeah. Don't be bitter. Now
Indulge us, Kay. What is the time?
Indulge us. I mean, the time for the first race for the 3-mile novice hurdle, slow by 13.63. When the times yesterday were suggesting it was good at the start of the day.
I didn't. It's tricky because it's not like the flat where you know that they'll go.
We didn't see the tempo of that. We didn't see the tempo of that pace really to be able to weigh.
Would Corserine, though, would he be the first Fame and Glory to not love jumping fences?
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. It's on the Fame and Glory anti-Fame and Glory.
We do Racing Post bingo. I'm the Australian. I'm going to be careful what word I use. I'm going to say loathe or something like that. You've got a real thing about Fame and Glories, haven't you?
I think over fences, I'm yet to be convinced. Yeah.
Did you put a lot of stock in them or something?
No, not at all.
Have you got? Come on.
Not at all. We've had plenty through the yard, but yeah, I didn't get involved.
That one, have you?
Yeah.
We've got a Fame and Glory brood mare, and I still don't like him.
Yeah.
We were trying to sell the foal.
Right.
So. Yeah, but I mean, you look at Fame and Glory's progeny. He has not had the top notch still.
I loved him as a horse.
Commander of Fleet, Glory and Fortune, the nice guy. How was he going to do with the fences then this year? But
your horse,
my horse. But even I'm like, him
Soaring Glory, John.
Soaring Glory.
Yeah.
Would we be totally surprised if he didn't go chasing the nice guy? We were chatting about this earlier in the week in our big jump off. Could he still be one for? He's getting on a bit, but by novice chase ranks, he's pretty much benching, isn't he?
Yeah, that's it.
He'll be 8. It's always a little bit woolly, that one for me. I don't know. I don't know why age is so important for novice chase, but it seems to be. Let's get another social up, shall we? And back to the race we go. The brilliantly named Motown Maggie for the equally well-named Paul Bakewell out there. Motown Maggie here to see if she likes Cheltenham. You're suggesting there's a little tester going on here, is it? It's the one jumps course, isn't it, where you just think this is a sighter. It's the top sighter track, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I think so.
Yeah.
You can't name so many others where you're just like, let's go and see how he fancies it around Cheltenham.
No, exactly. And Gordon Elliott's live to that himself, isn't he?
Very
not so much
so.
Willie Mullins. Doesn't seem to matter too much. And I mean, did you say he has? Because I couldn't find him having a runner at this meeting.
2011 is since first.
Yeah.
Kills dug that stat out for us yesterday. That's Dad's lad in the 3:15. But Paul goes on to say, good jumper despite her size. You're suggesting that she's tiny. Low weight, an Irish runner, a spectacular combo. Good luck, Paul.
Did Gordon have a winner yesterday or not?
No, I don't think he did he? I don't think he did. Look, just leave
brought
that
stacks of horses over, hasn't he?
Ash Tree.
Well, that was second, wasn't it?
That was second.
No, he didn't have a winner. He didn't.
I mean, not that I'm saying that's a negative. I just wondered.
Yeah, well, Piper is the biggie. Gordon is in situ as well. We're led to believe as well. Okay, all right. Great to have you with us this afternoon. We're one race down, and the Maltese on the move. Knight went in for Barry. Kate was with it too. And if you're wondering what the second leg is, it's the 350. You can find that all out. I think that's out there on Twitter now as well. And Barry put it up in the chat as well. Loads of people saying, well done, Barry, out there. It's always funny when you get one of them in the first race, Barry, isn't it?
That's always nice to, land the over, especially the first leg of an each-way double. It's important that wins, or at the very least is placed. But we've got nearly 300 quid. We've 250 in the win going on on a 10 to 1 chance, and it's best odds guaranteed, obviously, as well. So if that returns bigger, we get bigger.
Lovely. What's the Hollow Ginge doing then? A reminder, the first big lay of the day.
Lo and behold,
yeah, we just got matched at 3.95. He's 4.0 now. 8 Course Serene, 6.6 Captain Catastock. Motown Maggie, well supported, 9.2. Same price for Lord Accord and Neville's Cross, 9.2. So they're backing a few around the favourite. We're just having trouble lining up here in Cheltenham.
Why though, Barry? Why have we had 2 false starts? I don't understand that.
No.
But anyway, right.
Call him in.
It took one race. It took one loser for him, and he's
start
now
now,
going. Yeah, we don't like these standing starts, do we? And Lord Accord wasn't over the moon with it, and the rider's now trying to bustle him up to the front. Over the first fence we go. Then, I tell you what, was that? Who was that?
Wolf.
Was that?
The
That was
Wolf looking
Chased away from the fence.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
He
not
is
not
like
a
that,
good
though,
sign,
isn't
is
he?
it? If you're on the Wolf, I've had just a little bit on him because I know he's talented enough to take this. He is, however, a confirmed hold-up horse, and he's right out the back. We were hoping for a bit of a gallop on. We've got one because Almazar Guard.
Almazar Guard.
Almazar Guard. It's Charlie Longsdon trained, I can tell you that.
Yes.
It's in green and white stripes. And Lily Pinchin is indeed leading up. Saw a great sight over that one. Lord Accord rousted up after that standing start into second then. What's that, Organdi? Is that there? That's right out the back.
Serene is up there.
Serene is up there. And we've got to keep an eye on Serene's jumping, guys, because he's by far the most inexperienced in the field.
Yeah, he jumped well early. We've jumped 3 fences, but seems to have found nice rhythm down the inside for John Joe Neal Jr.
Oh, isn't it lovely talking about these jumpers on this show again? We love the flat, as you know, absolutely adore it. But during the races, there's nothing quite like the jump season, is there? Where's the Hollow Ginge, Kate Tracey?
The Hollow Ginge is around the inner there, just biding his time as he tends to do. So, yeah, fine, exactly as I expected from Hollow Ginge. Lots of space around him. Nice with that. 2 fences ago, Almazar Guard fairly hitty. He's fairly on the forehand there, isn't he? Really sort of...
Reach for that a bit.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah,
he did, didn't he?
Serene as well, a mistake there.
Yeah, it's just a tricky track, isn't it? And John Joe Neal's got him on the inside. Look at the Motown Maggie then in midfield at the moment. Paul Bakewell was hoping that was going to pop along, and she is jumping really well,
Serene falling to pieces.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fame and glory.
Yeah.
It's a fame and glory over fences. He'll be back hurdling potentially, and he's lively enough ground for him. So at the moment of the market, as you can see, there's the real market. This is what you get here on the show. You get to know where your money went, of course. We tell you all about each and every single runner, but we also highlight what the players in running do think, and no better there as it seems into double figures. The Hollow Ginge also got out to 6-1 as well. The Wolf probably put another 0 on him in a second. Hey, I said it for the first time over the jumps so far. Organdi's out the back as well. It's great to see these guys back. There's one that I have not mentioned.
Neville's Cross. He made a mistake there at the cross fence.
You knew telepathy going on again.
It's
a strange mind to be
in
in.
That's why we're good working together, you see.
There we go. Good working together now, are we? What about Captain Catastock, giving the outside to no one?
Yeah, he's been a little bit on the back foot early doors, sort of warming up into his task now. He's jumped fine with being unspectacular, and like I say, I think a good gallop on here. Lily Pinchin setting strong fractions.
He's an interesting horse, isn't he, Captain Catastock? Because he was with Nichols, and he tried his way of sort of hunter chasing, all that sort of thing. Fergal's got him back in a good place, didn't he? Those back-to-back wins. But whenever I see a horse that's quite keen wearing cheek pieces, it gets my... I don't know, I can't work him out.
You think he's keen?
Well, he's just a little bit... He wants to go a little bit faster, I think, doesn't he?
No.
But yet, you don't think he does. You think he wants to go backwards.
I just think he's just travelling in a nice rhythm. I
don't know. He said to go. Listen, I do these comments in running. I'm being more experienced race reader than you now.
Try and just learn.
I know you used to ride in these races, and you might have half an idea what you're talking about.
Hollow Ginge just made a bad mistake. Did Neville's Cross.
He went right to the back of the field, didn't he?
He's dropped out from midfield to the back now.
On Ginger.
Let's go to Barry then, because Hollow Ginge just starting to warm up a little bit, Barry, with a circuit to go.
No, he's been very sloppy over some of his fences, Dave. He's hit a high of 7. He's into 6 now. He still seems to travel, but he's sure to hit one of these hard at some stage. Captain Catastock, your favourite, at sub 2 to 1 now, 2.96, 9.2 Motown Maggie, 5.2 Lord Accord. So the favourite likes the market likes Captain Catastock and Lord the Cord in running.
Yeah, Neville's Cross are right out the back. He's rowing away at the moment. You can see, look, out to over 200. Look on the exchange. Where's the Wolf? He's got a lot of work.
The Wolf just looks a nightmare of a ride.
Hey, he's almost just got to kid him into it, hasn't he, Heskin?
He just is like this, isn't he? Like you say, you talk about the wind operation. I wonder if it is just him now, or he just looks such hard work. And we talk about. I mean, yesterday with the difference between some of our chasers, the ones that really take you down to a fence must be such a joy to ride in comparison. Just so much easier to maintain your balance, even.
Wolf will be having blinkers on before long.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Oh, yeah, may well be. Well, out in front at the moment. And again, we're staying chases, guys, aren't we? What was the story of the last couple of years? Get out in front, stay there, basically. And really jumping well down was our guard for Lily
Hello,
Pinchin.
Ginger to 21 in running.
Yeah, rowing away again. Rowing away.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Motown Maggie catching my eye as well, despite the fact he's been a bit sticky. And again, he was there to fame and glory. Of course, Serene, he's obviously still in a good place, isn't he, on his handicap mark?
John Joe O'Neill doing a great job. If you watch the way he gets him away from the fences, even when he's slow, straight back in the saddle as the horse lands, chasing him away, trying to keep him up into the bridle, even though for me this horse wants to drop out of it.
You're loving this, aren't you? I can sense it in your voice. You're loving being back.
Oh, yeah,
you don't talk about flat racing like this. You love it, absolutely love it. And Captain Cadstock,
this is why you're getting excited. When have I ever said that a flat jockey gets the horses away from the fences?
No, of course not, you buffoon of a man. I don't mean that. I mean the way you're talking about it. I can sort of tell you talk about the way jockeys ride on the flat. And now, all of a sudden, I know why you're getting excited, because your horse is coming.
He's travelling pretty good at the moment. I mean, the Hollow Ginge, fair play to the veteran. He's sort of sticking on in there, isn't he? But, as they travel down the hill, Almanzar Guard is still hanging on. Lord
Don't
Accord's
discount
there.
the Wolf now. Here we go. This is the tricky third last. Then over they go. Corserine, absolutely wackoed it. Almanzar Guard, then Lord Accord is there. All of a sudden, Captain Cadstock's having to think about it. Motown Maggie, could this be Gordon's first winner of the meeting? Pied Piper coming up in around about half an hour's time. She's coming up the inside. The Wolf continues to close.
He does.
Yeah.
Stalking, prowling the Wolf.
Adrian Eskin again. He's talking about great rides. He's done everything right on him so far, hasn't he? And he's going up the inside.
Maggie, though,
Lord Accord, 2 out there.
Lord Accord travels best of all, doesn't he?
Lord Accord is lovely.
He's gone very short, hasn't he? All of a sudden, he's 6-4 on, but he wasn't great there, and the Wolf is coming. Captain Catastock's coming. Motown Maggie, the cavalry are mounting, guys.
They are. They're coming. Captain Catastock needs a good jump.
Oh, he got a good jump there, Lord Accord.
Lord Accord, that could win him it.
Richie McClernand. Seen to winning effect for Emmett Mullins at Carlisle in the week. He'd come down to Cheltenham, and they are running out quite convincing winners. Look at the Wolf doing all of his best work towards the end.
The Wolf.
We'll keep with this project, won't we? Captain Catastock is in third. Barry turning in. He went to shades of odds on, and he just kept ploughing it on.
Yeah, a birthday winner for Richie McClernand and 36 today. So, he wasn't for passing, that's for sure, after he took it up with 2 to jump. He was 11 to 10 at that stage just to get over the last 2. He had a Betfair SP of 9.2. Captain Catastock traded at a low in running of 1.56. Charlie, I was cheering him home for you. He was 4 to 7 in running. The Wolf did really well, didn't he? From where he came from, he traded at a low of 5.0 in running. Can you believe that for the Wolf? Corserine traded at a low in running of 5.6 as well. But the winner up there throughout, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. And again, that's a feature of these staying chases, isn't it?
So often. I mean, like you say, it was every big Saturday last year, wasn't it?
Why is it? Let's remind ourselves
up with the pace.
Up with the pace, leading or up
on
with the pace.
On good ground, anyway, yeah.
You just get into that rhythm. And Cheltenham, Mel Rose, the betting editor, who will be coming back for Cheltenham next month. He'll be coming back for his winter stints of Racing Post Live. I don't think we've seen him since good, but have we? But the betting editor will be coming back. He always says that Cheltenham is a sharper track than you realise, and the front runners there do ever so well.
Yeah, I mean, especially the old course. I mean, and like what people, the common mistake, people think it's like a big galloping track, and it's not. You're always on the turn, up and down. The fence are in awkward places, and if you get out in front, get into a good jump-in rhythm, it's very hard to make ground round there, and so, like it can be very, very tricky to peg them back. But I think that theory then goes across the board, as we've seen with staying handicap chases. If you get into a good rhythm in front, it seems to be very hard for them to peg them back.
And that guy loves good ground, doesn't he? He's now 6 from 15 in his career so far. As he Yates, basically.
Yeah. Exactly.
They can jump.
I mean, would that get him into Hennessy? Coral Gold Cup, whatever it is. I mean, what was that off of?
There's some talk about that in the chat. I've just seen people saying, respect the sponsors.
Sorry.
But he always seems to get a new name, doesn't it? But
33 to 1, the Coral Coral Cup it's called now. He's being
Coral
put
Cup.
in at 33 to 1.
33. I mean, for 135, I'm just looking. Danny Wisbank got into it last year.
He does.
So he will be getting enough of a hype for that.
He does have a good strike rate in his handicap chases, doesn't he? Of course, he won the what I will call the old Racing Post chase a couple of years back, didn't he?
Who, Mulholland?
Yeah. Obviously, Midnight.
And then you had the Young Master or whatever. With the
Young Master, great
dude.
shout.
You win the Bet 365 or something like that. Or,
Yes. But this chap basically was quite well fancy behind Dusart at Ayr at the Scottish Grand National meeting. He just didn't pick up a fence whatsoever. It looked like one run too many.
You surely wouldn't fancy him for the Coral Trophy, would you? I mean,
he just jumped very well, didn't he? He's actually relatively lightly weighted, but it depends what's going to
because
turn
how
up
quick
there,
they went there, we can multiply
my
that by
point
10.
being, he was fancy
around
to beat
Newbury.
Dusart at Ayr in April, and Dusart will be favourite pretty much for the Old Hennessy,
Yeah.
all right? For the showpiece, the Gold Trophy or whatever it's called. So what I'm saying is, it's not going to be the worst 33 to 1 shot you've ever seen.
No, I don't dispute that.
And he'll
but
get
I'm
into a rhythm, won't he? And if he jumps across fence 5 out like he's just jumped.
But what I'm saying is the field size and the tempo is going to be significantly different to what we've just seen then.
Previous winners of this race, Frodon, the conditional, all horses that.
We talk about the conditional, then going on to not to
Balthazar King, do you remember him?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Bath.
Balthazar King. Yeah, you would know all about him.
Yeah. I got to ride him out.
Coggery, of course, Relentless Dreamer. So it tends to be a stepping stone for Newbury on the final weekend of November, which we're all very much looking forward to. Of course, that weekend, Fighting Fifth coming back. Constitution Hill, whisper it.
Betfair Fighting Fifth.
Yeah, indeed. I know, Barry. I know. Don't worry.
Barry's face.
I know. We've already got Mark Orosky coming on in. Mark
And it's
was
the Coral Cup. It's not the Hennessy. It's not the Ladbroke. It's the Coral Cup.
Yeah,
I got that right,
very
Barry.
good,
I
very
said
good.
the Coral.
Is it the Coral Cup? It is.
I thought it was
I
Coral
quite
Gold
like that.
Cup.
Is it Coral Gold Cup? All right.
We're going to be confused with the hurdle.
They're getting some airtime anyway, aren't they? Well,
Yeah,
but,
exactly. What
Barry's
a good
always
bit
been
of,
very gracious
Stick to
about that.
Betfair Fighting Fifth Day.
Well, so Barry's going over for that because Constitution Hill will be strutting his stuff in that, won't he?
That'd be great to see, won't it?
Yeah.
It will. I wonder where they're going to go with.
Yeah, it's 6 to 1 on chance. Well, like you used to do with Belvedere.
Yeah, well,
6 is on 3 other runners.
and of course, Epatant's the one that's been mopping it up in recent years, isn't she? So she comes back. Oh, that's all ahead of us, isn't it? Horses to follow for the jump season. Come on, then. We're off and running at Cheltenham. Happy days. We'll be going back to Newbury very shortly. Of course, we'll be popping up to Doncaster as well on the Town Moor. Let's get some socials up. Who's coming in? It's Toon 2020 again coming up and said, no, it's a better sight in racing than Chasers at Cheltenham. Agreed?
Well, I mean, yeah, I think it's pretty up there, isn't it? Well, what is your favourite site?
I don't know. Yeah, no, you're right. Chasers at Cheltenham, I suppose, yeah. I don't know. Grand
No,
National.
I'd say 2 miles round
National
Sandown.
fences. 2
Over
miles
fences.
around Sandown.
Oh, yeah.
Those pesky railway
The
fences.
railways. Ping, ping, ping.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to never getting them right again
No,
throughout
I
the
mean,
season.
you
No,
excel,
you're right.
excel
You
in
are
that
right.
back
The
straight.
railway, I do.
Yeah.
You're right. That's a good shout, isn't it? Do you know my favourite fence in jump racing? I think we've done
pond.
this before. Not the world famous pond fence,
Not
as I
the
get
pond.
stick for calling it. Nope. The 4th last at Fontwell.
Really?
Yeah,
What?
I absolutely adore
On the
it.
intersection?
Yeah, because the camera is it's one of the greatest camera angles over
It is a good
fence.
angle, that.
They
I
move
agree.
and they soar over it. I just love it.
Yeah.
I just
Watch
love
it like
everything
that,
about it.
though, when they're coming down to it.
Fontwell will be up there with my top 5 tracks.
Really?
I absolutely love going to proper race goers track. Absolutely
Did not
love it.
expect
Yeah,
that.
great part of the world. We love you, Fontwell. Yeah. And we've got, of course, the National Spirit winner coming out, haven't we? Only £1 for Botox has, of course. But I suppose there's the Paddy Power Gold Cup to think about for Lord Accord as well, isn't there? Probably. What's that called now? The Bet Victor Gold Cup now, isn't it? I think. Again. All change. All right.
Who knows what these
But we've got
sponsor
that
names
coming
are.
back. At the open meeting, we will be covering all 3 days. James Millman's going to come in and represent Barry on that because Barry's coming. This is that time of year, Barry, isn't it, where you do see a lot of action on track, don't you? Are you there, Barry? Barry? Yeah? Sorry, I can't hear you, Barry. You got your... Were you listening to a race or something? This is...
A bit temperamental,
There we
this setup here.
Unlike
No,
your
it is.
tipping.
Yeah. Obviously, it's the Paddy Power meeting in Cheltenham, the open meeting.
Yeah.
I'll be there, and then the Betfair Chase is the weekend after that, and then obviously the Betfair Fighting Fifth the weekend after that, and then you're into the Tyndall Creek in early December. So yeah, it's all go. Can't wait.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
St Stephen's Day, Leopardstown, one of the great days, and you just get out that day, bounce out of bed, didn't you? Absolutely fantastic. King George coming up and all that sort of stuff. Will Allaho go King George? That's what we're thinking as well. Great to have some jump. I think he's going to go.
I think
he?
he will.
Yeah.
I hope so, because I wrote up 5 pillar races for the jump season to look forward to try and tip up either the winner or a value bet. And I mean, Allaho just had
Allaho, brave man's game. That's an all right.
Oh,
It's
no
happening.
contest.
It's on, isn't it? It's on. It's on.
It might be, but geez, I'd look forward to seeing it.
I know, wouldn't it?
Well, Hoy Senor might even go and have another crack at
Yeah.
it, mightn't he?
I thought, could he not go over to
Could he
to
turn up?
Ireland?
Well, it won't be soft enough for him in the Charlie Hall chase, I don't imagine. With the Charlie Hall's
But
next week,
I'm a big fear that I think that
You think he'd go Lexus? That would be great.
Yeah, but
British
because
horses have successfully gone over.
Yeah, because I think even though he jumps right, he likes going left-handed.
That's the thing. At
Because-
Wetherby, we saw it last year, didn't we? He jumped out to
Because
his right, but
I have a feeling that when he goes right, it doesn't allow him the freedom to kind of shift when he wants to put himself
He was
right.
sketchy
Whereas
in
he
the
likes to
wasn't
be
he?
able to go left-handed, that he can move right to put himself where he wants to be when he's meeting the fences tight.
because he has that space.
Yeah.
Then. Yeah.
Whereas I think it cuts down his space when he's actually going right-handed and he doesn't seem as comfortable.
All right, a reminder that we're popping back to Newbury then, 2:25. We'll keep the jumps chat going. We'll keep talking about anti-post tips as well. Steve M comes on and says, Steve M, welcome along. And he says, Sky Cutter, 4 career wins, 3 of them on soft or heavy, worth a small punt each way. He likes Newbury as well from memory when he was with Roger Charlton, wasn't he? He's gone to Phil Kirby. No, he's still with Phil Kirby, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's quite an exuberant horse, I would call him. Hamish is the hot pot in this then, Barry. And unlike some favourites today, this one is not drifting at all.
1.70, Hamish. Very strong at that as well, Dave, when you consider he has been matched at even money. He's 8-11 now on the Betfair Exchange. 7.0 Lone Eagle. No love for that at all. 8 Passion and Glory. Yukon Glen was supported. He's into 16.5, 23 bar. I like Lone Eagle against the favourite, Dave. You know, that run the Irish Derby, when you go back to it as a 3-year-old, he traded 33-1 on that day with Frankie Dettori. He looked like he had stolen it. Hurricane Lane just got up and done him on the line. But obviously in the King George in the same year, he hurt his fetlock. I think he fractured a fetlock. And maybe he hasn't been the same horse since, but his run behind Albanisa last day wasn't that bad at all in July in the Grand Prix de Saint Cloud, given what Albanisa's gone on and done. And he has form as a 3-year-old on soft ground. He won the Cockpat in Goodwood on soft ground as well. That's probably my favourite race name, favourite race title, Cockpat. I think it's just brilliant. I have to say it every time I see it. So, no, I like the Lone Eagle here. He's about even money in the 3 places. Obviously, Hamish is going to be hard to beat, but I think this guy will give his running on the soft ground. 3 places on the Betfair Sportsbook. He's currently around even money, 1.90. So we're going to have 25 quid on him to finish in the first 3.
Okay.
The sports book there, Barry, each way. Was that?
Each way, yeah.
Each way, 25
No,
quid.
sorry. I meant the exchange. Yeah, and the
I was going
place
to say, I was
market
sort
on
of,
the exchange.
3 places on the exchange. Perfect, 25.
Okay, all right.
25 quid, please, Kate. Yeah.
So,
Ideal.
Okay, here's my conundrum with this horse. He probably has been waiting for soft ground, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he is effectively, because I know that in that Saint-Cloud race it was listed as good soft, but that was actually quick. You know, as we often say with the French going descriptions, don't basically pay any attention to it.
Yeah,
Look at the times.
Look at the
exactly.
times, because the times of that race suggested it was good ground anyway. And apart from that, I mean, I'm just trying to look down for his soft ground form. I think he is pretty much unbeaten on soft ground then. So yeah, that good to soft then, that was good ground effectively. So yeah, totally see the angle with the softer surface and for Lone Eagle for Barry.
Yeah, 1-1-1 he is on soft, you're right. William Buick, despite the fact that William was crowned clear champion jockey, shall we say, to continue to rattle them all in throughout the week, isn't it? It's a big ride for him. I wonder why he's as big as 9-2. I wonder why he's as big as 9-2.
I thought more people would be.
And this is a 7-2 shot for my money, 3-1. I thought the bookies would have him in at that, because this is almost like, come along, back him each way. Come and have a go. Yeah. Absolutely no problems. This is the sort of race that you look at, isn't it, and go, if you don't like Hamish, it's a great race to have a look at. Yeah. He's the class angler in the race, of course. He's come up against 2 very good horses when he's been beaten. Kiprios, of course. He came up against Drushan at this course, you know. He's a very, very talented horse in his day. And when he won at Ascot last time, he came there on the broad and he produced the goods. Tom Marcon will be looking forward to this. What do you like?
Yeah, I'm with the favourite. I mean, I suppose if you're going to play, probably you want to do like on the sportsbook, the lengthen your odds, don't you? Really?
Oh, lengthen your odds. Check you out.
Good use of
you
the
are on
sportsbook.
form today. Kate, Max Vega is a horse that I have had a little bit on as well, and you really like him.
Yeah, I do. I mean, to be honest with you, this race, I've taken 3 different approaches to it, eventually landed on Max Vega, because Hamish is a horse who I adore. I absolutely love this horse. But for me, he's a horse that he needs a longer turnaround between his races. Yet he dispelled that last time out. I sort of thought he was too short a price at Ascot because he didn't get the length of term between his races that I thought he really needed. Yet he still managed to win that as he should have done. Probably didn't lengthen in the manner you really wanted. And again, he's got a short turnaround this time around of only 21 days. So I think at that price, he's just about worth taking on. Lone Eagle, totally get it then. Didn't think I was going to get the each way price about him though, hence why I then looked further down for Max Vega. This is the time of year to get him. Second in this race last year, loves this course and distance, won over this track and trip at the start of this season. And it's either you get him in the spring or you get him in the autumn. They're the two times to catch Max Vega. I can never get him right ever, so I probably won't get him right today, but
spoken to a few jocks on feature shows and stuff that we do here at the Racing Post, and whenever they've been riding him, they'd say that I don't know, I think they've still got him in quite a good place. He'll love the ground.
Yeah,
He'll love. This is his race. He was second last year. Sam Caney says, "Lift him, Tommy boy." Tom the bomb. Poste will be doing that for you, Sam. Afternoon, Sam, to you out there. Okay, good luck then, whichever way you play in the 225. It's a St Simon Stakes, and you can Glenn, unsurprisingly, he seems to turn up every Saturday, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
And he
Stays
always
on
goes from behind. Sky Cutter, he took a little bit of time to get in the stalls. A couple of people out there liked him, didn't they? He's out the back as well. He settled all right, actually, not too bad. A bit of sweat on him. Grand Alliance out the back as well. Looking for Passion and Glory on the inside.
Keen.
Also, Gulwar, Keen Passion and Glory.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
William Buick setting his stall out.
Lone Eagle trying to do what he did in the Derby, Barry, isn't he? Try and steal a march. But Tom Marquand covers every move, as does, who's on Max Vega? Ross Orion, of course, on the inside. Look at that ground at Newbury. Really is going to take some getting home, this one. Who will be the first to cry off then? Barry, after a couple of furlongs, Lone Eagle's gone to the front then. He's settled really nice. Has he finally contracted?
No, he's 5.9. He went off at 6.2, 7.1 Hamish, 9.6 Passion and Glory. No real change from the off, Dave, to be perfectly honest with you. They're all travelling well on themselves, going a sensible pace on that ground.
I wondered whether Hamish might have gone short, guys, because he's got. This is what you want to see, isn't it? He's actually covered in sweat, isn't he? On what is a pretty windy day out there. Max Vega goes really well. You can Glenn. Look, he's alive to it now, basically, isn't he? Of course, Paul Moran in his usual ride. He knows him so well. Not going to let him get too far away. That's an interesting move there. Turning in, Kate. What do you like? Max Vega going lovely.
Yeah, I'm pleased with where he is at this minute, giving himself that bit of space from the outside there, not stuck against the inside rail. He's travelling well within himself, but to be fair, there's not really many you'd draw any line through at this stage.
Okay,
Do they come up the centre, do you think?
Probably,
Likely,
Barry.
yeah.
I think
a lot
so.
of these horses, Dave, by the way, are sweating. I'd say it must be quite a muggy day down there.
Okay,
So
all right.
If you look at them all there, Passion and Glory is still been keen the whole way through. Grand Alliance, interesting. First run since a gelding operation.
We got he's a stun gun horse, isn't he? I spoke to Charlie Fellows about this track. He should have got another Royal Ascot winner in him, shouldn't he? But of course, he ran all the way across the track. Right, Lone Eagle then out in front. Fitness will be key now for this horse. Passion and Glory starting to queue up in behind. He's got a Sky Cutter's getting in. All got chances. All got chances. Hamish is still on the bridle. Max Vega's coming now. He's definitely on a going day today, Max Vega. That's for sure. Gulwar now starting to crack. Sky Cutter not great. Gain's going to come and have a go, but he's going very low now. Oh, yeah, look at this, 1.22. It's just a case of wait. Lift him, Tom, for Sam.
Come on, Max.
Here comes Max Vega as well. I'll tell you what, he could be in a bit of trouble here, Sam Caney. Come on in, Max Vega. Could this possibly do it?
Stick it up to him.
I think he's just going to see him off. I'll tell you what, he's a little
Aye.
tight. Ross Orion's going for this. Look at this, he's got him, isn't he? Go on, Kate, give this one a lift up.
Max.
No, he's coming back.
No, come on, Max.
Oh, Tom's lifted him. He's lifted him.
Max.
It's going to be on the nod. This is great.
He's got him.
Oh, Sam Caney, you're thinking, what is going on here? Max Vega comes back. Kate Tracey knocks it absolutely out the
Smashed
park.
it. Well done.
Wow, they came well clear, Barry, in a bobber.
SP of 29, so 28 to 1 for your winner, Max Vega. Brilliantly ridden by Ross Orion, it has to be said. Hamish traded at a low in running of 1.12, so 8 to 1 on for over 1,100 quid. Yeah, your winner, sorry, Dave, Max Vega traded at a high of 70 in running.
There you go. It's not over yet this
Lovely,
flat season, isn't it? Oh, absolutely.
Don't you want it to go now?
No, stick around. Absolutely.
Keep the flat going for the autumn, please. I want rubbish ground and flat racing. That's all I require.
He'd make a lovely jumper, Max Vega, wouldn't he?
Wouldn't he just?
He'd make a lovely jumper.
Yeah.
He'd be pretty
He's so
expensive to
game,
buy
isn't
now,
he?
I would imagine. It's great that these horses. I was having some fun with Keeley yesterday when we were doing the show, Paul Keels, and I was saying these are almost like Ascot Straight handicaps. You know, the same horses seem to turn up in these races, like Max Vega, like your sort of peripheral horses, I call them. You know, not quite at the top level, and they have their own narrative. Starts in the Aston Park Stakes or whatever. It goes all the way John Porter's, all that sort of thing. And Rafe Beckett has now won that twice in the last 10 years. His previous winner was, looking down, Cubanita, the mare, back in 2013. Ooh. So he's got his day in the sun. That's great, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's a spring horse. So what, back for this finest surprise?
Yeah, it'll only be a 6-year-old next year, so you know.
It must be great for you, like to have horses like this around as well. You know,
he won the Zetland as a 2-year-old, didn't he, on Slop? You know, and this, I don't know, that was a monster price. It put me off. You know, I tipped him yesterday on What a Shout when I did it, and I just looked at the price and I'm like, well, I obviously can't fancy it at all because. You know, and you look at then all of a sudden official figures there. I mean, Hamish is on level weights with him, and the handicap has got him £12 ahead.
I wonder if they might just have a look into that up the straight though. Like it was
I'm
not saying it was Max Vegas that was
who lengthened his odds,
but there was a bit of a coming together.
That's the ground. They roll around in deep ground. I'll make his excuses for him.
You'd be a good talker in a steward's cake.
I'll hang out anyone else to dry and keep myself safe.
All right, we're going to pop to Cheltenham again next, I think, isn't it? Of course, it's the 240 coming up. We're not quite at Doncaster yet, but we will be. We've got a listed 2-year-old race coming up there. Really looking forward to that around about 3 o'clock. And then it is the 3:35, the Vertem Futurity. And we end the card, the 4:10. Fiendish, as I said. Fiendish. Looking 5 furlong handicap sprint. Perhaps Barry can solve the puzzle of that one. All right, Hamish then. Oh, a load of multis cracking all over the land, I would imagine. A reminder that the first leg of Barry's charity double today went in. Kim and Kate Tracey. Kate, you're having some day, aren't you?
I'm sweating here.
It is
I'm not used to this feeling in here. I'm not used to this feeling of joy in here and success.
It's sitting next to Poste. It's rubbing off in here.
It does. Yeah, it has that effect.
What, on women just making them flustered and warm?
Yeah, we've seen some.
How do you know that narrative? Yeah.
Oh, well, it's legendary.
I just want to give you a quote about Knight, if you don't mind, of our Horace Hill winner. He is going to go down the Guineas route for anyone that wanted to take that 25 on the sportsbook out there. He is going down. He's going to start in the trial as well. He'd probably come back to Newbury, you'd imagine, wouldn't he? You'd just be hoping that there was a bit of wet ground around, I suppose. It's not often we have soft ground Guineas, is it? Let's face it.
No.
We definitely didn't this year, did we?
No. All right, okay.
Have they said whether they think he's ground versatile or not?
He had actually, the quote is kind of exactly what Barry said. He quotes Malavat, Simon Crisford, to us. It's James Byrne we've got there, roving around at Newbury today, and he actually quotes
Steward's Inquiry Newbury.
Here we go.
I tell you what, I called it.
You can't take that away from Kate.
Don't take it away from me.
Well, they came close, didn't they? Grand Alliance was way back.
Look, we are now seamlessly going over as another controversial Steward's Inquiry, weren't we, from last season?
I don't trust Steward's Inquiries nowadays.
Why were they so
If only they had me there, Barry, I'd have called it straight away.
Bing bong, straight on the button.
The Stayers race in Ascot. Everyone had paid out by the time they called the inquiry.
Yeah, not good for you.
I'd have been there with the button straight away.
Bing bong.
You would have bing bong. Yeah. Probably is a button, isn't it? I never thought
Do you reckon it would be?
Yeah.
I'd love someone sat behind the desk that goes, press the button, press the button, we'll have him in.
You had
Can you
one
do the
job.
ding dong? Bing bong. All right, okay, one hot pot sunk then. Hamish, something about Newbury, isn't it? Just
Not
doesn't
yet,
like
though.
it.
Hold on.
Not yet. Might yet have the one next to it. Posty's clinging on. The winner's somewhere for you, Posty. You've hit the crossbar a couple of times so far. Okay.
What about the decision at Aintree in the spring?
Listen, it's seamless, this, isn't it? Because Pied Piper comes out for his. This is a great segue. Night Salute, Pied Piper, Ding Ding round 3, of course, because they did come up against each other in the Triumph as well. But it was Aintree, Barry, in April. The controversial decision to give Night Salute Milton Harris his first ever Grade 1.
Yeah, it's well documented at this stage, isn't it? Obviously, got it in the steward's room, much to the chagrin of Gordon Elliott and his team. Although they did take that reversal well, but at the moment, 1.81 Pied Piper, very, very short. There was nothing between them really in the anti-post market. Then the day of race market, Pied Piper became favoured at odds against. He was around 6-4 chance, but he's into 4-5 now on the exchange. 1.88 actually as we speak. Night Salute is 5. Absolutely friendless in the market. Unusual because Milton Harris is he's like the shark in that he's not shy about talking about the chances of his horses, and he feels this horse is in a good place. So I expected to see more money for that. It hasn't transpired on the Exchange. He's 4.9, 7.4 Bella Scintilla, and it's 9 each of two, or it's 9 Dr. Panasas and 95 Solbeck. I like Bella Scintilla, just the filly getting all the allowances, and she's going to need them as well because a rating of 129 puts her way behind these guys on official ratings. But she has bags of experience from France. She was transferred to Joseph O'Brien's, and she won a filly's maiden in Killarney, and she beat a nice horse of Willie Mullins, and they pulled like 40 odd lengths clear of the third. Now, I just think there's more to come from her. It's interesting that they're bringing her over here to see where they stand as well. So I think it's a ballsy move from Connections. Kate, we're going to have at 7.
I will be there in a second, Barry. The laptop has decided to die. But I will put this bet on once it decides to revive itself.
It might be better if you put on the trade, Barry, for us, just to make sure that goes on, actually, just while we try and get some power back on Kate's machine. She's doing so well, she's sucked all the power out of it.
Yes, I'm going to bet it, and I'm going to set our own odds here. I think 7.0 is a bit skimpy. I think there's going to be money for the two at the headed mark. There is for Pied Piper. I wouldn't be surprised to see money for Night Salute in the next couple of minutes. So we're going to look back at 7.6 and have 25 quid in it. So that will go over into the lay section. We confirmed that bet, and we want someone to come in and lay us that bet. We're setting our own odds on the Betfair Exchange here. Bella Scintilla at 7.6, have 25 quid, win only on me.
When I spoke to Milton Harris yesterday, Barry, he actually suggested that this might be the biggest danger. Actually getting all that weight. So interesting shout, Tom O'Brien then for Joseph O'Brien. And the link there, of course. And Dr. Parnas has been very easy to back, hasn't he? Pied Piper then. One-way traffic at the minute. Are you with or against? Let us know. Keep getting your selections in. We'll let you know the result of that steward's inquiry as soon as we possibly can. Kate, have you got power back? Have you? No, we're still blank. All right, okay. Well,
no, we don't know what's going.
Well, Barry put on that trade then. All right, so Pied Piper. Yeah, we've spent a bit of time together today, haven't we? You are in the camp. And look, I like the horse. Placed at Royal Ascot, of course, in the summer. That was quite a nice move to see him there. He's a very talented horse, isn't he? I just cannot have the price discrepancy. And for all that Milton has might well be going round to people on course saying, he's not quite ready. Or that sort of thing. He didn't say that to me yesterday. He said he's fit. The one interesting
I think you've probably got an angle that he is the fit horse, Night Salute. I can't believe that he's going to.
You think this might be his cup final a bit, mightn't you?
I think that if there's an angle for Night Salute beating Pied Piper, it maybe is race readiness. But
two horses that might want a bit of a trip as well this season, I thought, as well. Pied Piper, he ran in the Ascot Stakes, didn't he? And he ran very well.
Which you tend to expect from your top-level juveniles going into the next
season. They're grinders, that's what they are,
We see, with your Tiger Rolls, your Defi de Soys and such, like all your best sort of juvenile horses, then do want a trip in time. But then they also find themselves stuck in that bit of a tricky camp. I put Pied Piper kind of in the Zanahiyr camp then for this season. Zanahiyr, top juvenile. Last year, he picked up his prizes, but he did struggle with that in-between status that he then had. And of course, I think he wanted a bit further. So for Pied Piper, I think this is his cup final because he's going to be a very difficult horse to place further on because he's not a champion hurdle winner for me.
When he won at the track, it was a bad race, wasn't it?
It was a poor race.
Which one for?
Race.
When he beat
Pied Piper.
For both of that, for Pied Piper, yeah.
When Pied Piper won at the track, that was really why he was so popular, wasn't he, for the Triumph? I don't think we saw him quite to best effect in the Triumph. Vauban's a much quicker horse. There's no doubt in that. Vauban is interesting, isn't he, going forward?
Yeah.
He could yet make it a very spicy champion hurdle, couldn't he, Vauban?
No, another angle, but it is always hard for.
If they all get there.
If they get him jumping properly, Vauban.
Yeah.
He's probably quickest horse in the race.
It's just 5-year-olds in the champion hurdle, isn't it?
You've got to again and again.
He does look very, very
talking to Milton about Night Salute, is it going to be a tough year? He even said we might look at taking him to France. Great prize money, loads of 4-year-old conditions races over there. What we love about Night Salute is he turned up almost all the time, didn't he? He's a course winner himself. It might not have been a great race, but Paddy Brennan will be really looking forward to this. And it's ding round 2. A lot of people say David Russell got there too soon on Pied Piper. You're in that camp.
Didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he did. I don't think there's any, people get it wrong. I think if he could have another go at that race, David Russell, he'd probably like to do it again, wouldn't he? I think he did get there too soon, but there was nothing between them. But I think if you look at the price on the day, Night Salute was 14-1, and Pied Piper was odds-on favourite at Aintree. I think that's probably a relative sort of appraisal of their actual ability. I don't think Pied Piper was at his best at Aintree either. And my feeling is that he's the horse with the greater scope.
I just
he ran a
can't
cracker
be with him at
Ascot.
this price.
And that was the first time he'd had tongue strap on as well. And now he's having the tongue strap on over jumps. Whether that might help him maintain that he's a strong traveller that maybe doesn't always find as much as you think. Maybe that might help him finish his race off a bit better. I think he's an interesting horse. I think he's got way more scope moving forward. I think Night Salute was very well campaigned last year. He is hardy, he turned up everywhere and won a lot of prizes. I think it would be more likely that he won't go forward into the Open division.
Interesting. And Gordon Elliott has had 2 runners in this race, 1 win and 1 place. Name the winner? He has just been given a name check on this show
Tiger
already. It was Tiger Roll. He came over in 2014 and basically had an absolute romp.
Vauban, the interesting thing, I felt like he always wanted to go a bit right in the Triumph Hurdle. Now, for him, reverting to the old track for the Champion Hurdle might be interesting, as in it might put more of a premium on that.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, he's very, very, very interesting also, Vauban. They could have potentially gone.
What we want to see is the more get there and take Honeysuckle on, don't we? Constitution Hill and the like.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Great. Yeah. Quite right. Right. So basically, we are looking down. I'm seeing a couple of questions here in the chat as well. Conor O'Dwyer horse coming over. Someone's asking why would Conor O'Dwyer bring up such a big overside. Did run at Chepstow, of course, in that 4-year-old race on Silver Trophy weekend 2 weeks ago as well. So probably coming to running the races he can, I would imagine. But maybe this is a side step for something down the line as well. Dr. Parnassus, big price, isn't he? He ran in the Triumph and it all went wrong after that, didn't it? Yeah,
he did. I mean, and then reading the quotes, we're fit and we've had this race in mind all summer, so we're ready to go. I'm just not sure that some of these trainers thought we were going to get the 2 pitching up, the 2 bigger guns.
Yeah, unusual, isn't it? But it's going to be a treat then. Off we do go. A reminder that there's Barry's selection, then win on Bella Centeno. It looked like he drifted out a little bit Pied Piper. Night Salute then is taking a lead. He's a little bit keen, Bella Centeno, isn't she? But Dr. Parnassus is out there. Yeah, now that's what I was looking for.
I was wondering where the pace is going to come from in this, because there really wasn't a lot of pace. We know that Night Salute and Pied Piper can both take a hold, so I was wondering exactly where this was going to come from. But yeah, Dr. Parnassus.
I think Paddy Brannan would be the happier of the 2 at the moment, wouldn't he?
Definitely, as in I should imagine from Jack Kennedy's perspective, this isn't kind of really what he was hoping for. He does look a bit better now, mine. Interestingly, Bella Scintilla has jumped straight over that first flight as well.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good stuff. That's what we wanted to see, because she did go out a little bit right, didn't she, when she won last time as well. She had 3 runs over fences in France, of course, that one, as they tend to get them out there very early as 3-year-olds and that. Okay, so, I don't know, weird sort of muddling gallop at the moment, Barry, isn't there? Lots of pulling for heads.
Yeah, strange little jink from Pied Piper there, just in front of the stand. He kind of thrown his head about a bit. He's having a little bit of difficulty settling, has to be said, but he's still your favourite, 1.93. 5 Night Salute, 7.2 Bella Centilla, 6.8 Dr. Parnassus, and 70 Sawbuck.
All right then, so Dr. Parnassus leading at the moment as we go out onto that famous far side of the track underneath Cleve Hill and the outside. Yeah, there's a little bit of pace pressure now, I suppose, isn't it? But we're under 30 miles an hour.
We are. Be interested over this flight with nothing on her right, whether she might shift. She is wanting to go a fraction that way. I think Pied Piper half landed on heels jumping that flight in front of the stands, and that's why Jack Kennedy had to snatch him back. He's almost jumping too well with them going such a steady tempo at the moment. Harry Skelton has just shifted it up now, 32 miles an hour according to the screen. All
right, well, it's kind of as you were in the market a little bit, I think, as well, isn't it? Dr. Parnassus is pretty solid at the top there, but hasn't come in a little bit. Yeah, so it's interesting in this case, isn't it? Because, Jack Kennedy would be conscious of, not doing what happened at Aintree, but yet he hasn't got much of a pace to aim at.
No, that's the thing, exactly. Holding on to a horse as long as you can behind a steady tempo is you're stuck between a rock and a hard place trying to do that, aren't you? But at least he's settled now because the tempo has just warmed up. Night Salute's not going to let him out of his sight, though, but we know where Paddy Brennan likes to go on the hurdle track when the ground's gone soft at Cheltenham, don't we? Wide or even in a smaller run of field.
Yeah,
so it'll be challenging down towards the stand side, you would have thought.
Some of the top jockeys have sort of coined that move, haven't they?
Yeah,
and
that's why he has
Paddy's
such a good success rate at this track.
Yeah, Geraghty was the same, Ruby was the same, McCoy used to try and do it, of course. All right, then, on the far side we are, how many have we got left to jump? I'm going to say 3?
Yes.
Oh, I got one right. You were gutted about that, weren't you? Thought I had 4 dangling around. All right, Dr. Parnassus is still going well within himself. Barry, still around the 4 to 5 mark. He's not moved the muscle yet.
185, Pied Piper, 4.9 Night Salute, 6 Bella Scintilla.
Paddy Brennan's kind of...
Piper.
He's gone against the grain with what you guys
Paddy's pulling the whole Uno Reverso card.
Yeah.
The ground's not that bad.
No, the ground's not too soft. I think that's the thing.
Oh, the bypass.
I don't know.
And they bypassed the one down the hill then.
Yeah.
All right, okay, so 2 to jump now then, is it? Or is it just towards the last now? Surely not, is it? I'm not sure, actually. Why did they bypass
Now
that
he's
one?
going wide open. Paddy's all
Here
over
we
the
go.
shop.
Now he's reverting to type. He can sense, can't he? Here we are.
Second
2 out
last
then.
now, yeah.
Let's go. Dr. Parnassus.
the
Now they're
Pied.
revving up a little bit. Piper went through the top of that
Pied.
one. But I don't think Paddy was sort of slightly unsighted on Night Salute as well. But it's Bella Scintilla for
Oh,
Barry
don't come in
Orr
on him,
and
though,
Joseph
Charles.
O'Brien. It's leading them in
Charles.
now. Dr. Parnassus has cracked the market, got him right.
Wider.
Pied Piper is on the bridle. But here comes Night Salute. He's a
get
quick
stuck on
horse
that
as well, isn't he?
inside,
Going
though.
right up. Where are they going? Come on, guys. He's coming to the last
No,
here.
just come this way.
I tell you what,
Piper.
running a right race, isn't he? The outsider as
he was
well.
long
Now
there.
all of a sudden, Night Salute. He's
Come on, the
so
Piper.
tough, isn't he? I'll tell you what. All of a sudden, he's
Knuckle
gone
down,
really
knuckle
low now.
down. He's
He's
on
just
the
going to
best
get
part
him
of the
home, I
track.
think, because he's
Come
going to be
on,
that
Well,
little
this
bit
guy's
quicker.
absolutely bolts.
Come on, Piper.
Yeah, okay, all
Easy
right.
as you like.
So, look, there he goes. He's got his odds-on winner in the bag.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely,
Piper led in the
yeah.
merry dance. There you go. There's
Well-
your tabloid.
There was a lot of style there, Barry, from Jack Kennedy. We think uber confident.
Yeah, he's won very easy there to finish, Dave. He didn't have to show him the stick at all. He's just hands and heels, took it up, jumping the last, and it's gone away from them. It's a tasty enough performance, that net. Betfair SP of 1.96, so nearly even money. I think Bella Scintilla could have been second, actually. No, she's not. No, Night Salute's up for second
I was just
place.
looking at that, Barry. You know what? Paddy Brennan, if you're a punter, unlike some jockeys who if you back them and you think, oh, they're giving him a soft time for the third, go just think third place, you know, that sort of thing. Watch Paddy Brennan as he goes past the line. He's like he's diving for a gold medal.
He did this yesterday on a horse that finished third. It was
He's
absolutely
desperate to finish
legless.
second. That's why punters absolutely love him.
Oh,
There's a lot
exactly.
of theatrics all the time.
You think
It's
so? Yeah,
theatrics,
yeah. He
isn't
does.
it?
He does like to. He really.
Yeah.
He stands up in the stirrups and
What was the
all that
horse
sort of stuff.
yesterday that finished third?
Watch
It was
him, look.
absolutely legless. That.
Look at him putting his head down there. Look, he's absolutely. Yes, I'm on the line. I got it.
As if that does anything for the horse.
But a lot of people would have been playing the forecast and things like that, of course. So it's very, very important. But Bella Scintilla did run really, really well.
The only thing, it's not Linford Christie in the 100 metres. They pay out on the horse's head, not the jockey.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Don't tell him that. No one tell him.
Yeah, he's well conscious of the camera there, Paddy. Perhaps
14
says
from
Charlie.
20 for the champion hurl.
14 from 20.
I think you're underestimating
14,
this horse. with
20
that.
for the champion hurl. Yeah, it's interesting.
Underestimating him.
Constitution Hill's 11-8 favourite there. He's very, very short. Honeysuckle 7-2. Stateman and Vauban, the two Willie Mullins horses, are both 8-1 chances. 14 Pied Piper.
Yeah, all right. I love this from Sam Caney coming back on as well. Look, come on the Piper. Beauty from Jack. Yeah, it was Sam, wasn't it? And that horse is so
He is.
slick through
He's
the
a very
air.
good jumper. And no, because you guys were saying about him stepping up in trip and everything, and I think that they're definitely going to explore him being a champion hurdle horse.
What else has he got?
Exactly, but like I say, I think off that performance,
Yeah,
he's a
that
slick
Peter
jumper,
Hooper last year
strong traveller.
disappointed.
You know,
Peter Hooper
Abracadabra's
disappointed.
unfortunately now.
Yeah, Abracadabra's retired.
Yeah, Dr. Parnassus, surely a future chaser. Well, I'm not going to knock that out of bed, actually, Will, because
Makes sense.
Because they had all mankind beaten in this race, you know. And again, Paul Keeley yesterday, really good look at this, forensic look at this meeting. Historically, Keels did, and he basically said actually the Skeltons don't have too many.
4-year-old
winners at this.
allowance as well for that guy.
What's
to bash on?
Would we be surprised to see him over fences at Warwick in a couple of weeks? No, you
Exactly,
wouldn't,
yeah.
would you?
No.
Stepney Causeway, of course, beaten in the race last year for them as well. So, all right, okay. Stewards, result stands at Newbury. We're hearing.
Ooh.
Result
Good
stands.
decision, stewards. Well done.
Kel surprise.
Would it be too quick a turnaround to send him to Down Royal for that WKD hurdle? We know he likes to target. That's what
I thought that's what he mentioned.
Did
doing.
win last year?
Yeah,
he
he did
win
mention
again?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He did
When it comes
mention
out of this,
Yeah.
okay, he's going there.
Yeah.
Did he say that?
loves that meeting.
When's that? Start of
Gordon, doesn't he?
November, is it this year? Normally
5th of November, 4th and 5th. That's on the
4th and
4th.
5th.
It's on the Friday, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
Fireworks
grand. Yeah,
night.
so he's got the
Breeders'
2
Cup,
weeks.
of course, as
Bella
well.
Scintilla, Greatwood or something like that?
Interesting. Do you think she was in love for going that way round?
He would.
Potentially not. But what do you think? What do you think, Barry?
1, 2, 9.
Well, what's he going to be? About 150 after that?
Bella Scintilla? No, Bella Scintilla.
sorry, Bella
yeah,
Scintilla,
you
sorry,
know,
I thought
off
you were
of
talking
129 or something like that in the Greatwood. I
She
don't
get a
know.
rise for
I
that.
know, yeah, potentially they could. They wanted to dip their toe in the water and see where they stood. So
Yeah.
I think as a fact-finding mission, she jumped well, she travelled well, just outclassed at the finish, I suppose. I'd say that you'll see them taking her back to her own sex.
Ascot.
Ascot possibly. Don't forget the Triptonic prep for the Greatwood in this race last year when he was beaten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went on to win a big handicap, didn't he? When everyone got off him like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. OK, so there you are. Well done, you guys. Went for Pied Piper. It was pretty easy on the eye, that, wasn't it? Is he a champion hurdle horse? Certainly gives Vauban's form a bit of substance when you see them winning like that, don't you? And they place at Royal Ascot and things like that. You know, it's fair crop maybe we're looking at there.
Definitely.
Night Salute, I just love the way he digs his head down.
Yeah.
He's a terrier, isn't he?
He is a
He
terrier.
is,
Yeah.
he is. He's going to have a massive, massive following, and I wish them all well
Yeah.
throughout the season with him. He
If
really
they don't
likes his
put
horse in the
on
bumper, by the way.
Will he step up and
Westcoast
trip, or will he stay over
Yes.
2 miles?
Yeah,
Night Salute.
definitely.
Yes, mentioned that to
Definitely
Milton
will be,
yesterday,
yeah.
Barry, and yeah, absolutely, because he's bred to be running in derbies and things like that, isn't he? I think he actually said he was surprised when they got. Was it Balding that had him beforehand? Who was it? Yeah, it was Andrew Balding.
Yes, yeah.
And let's have a look at the pedigree. Just it's Sir Percy, isn't it? Of course, out of an unforwayne mare. So yeah, he could, Barry. I think he could. And you might be. I mean, look, if it all goes well, you might see him in the Atria Hurdle or something like that. You know.
Yeah, I mean, like it sounds like Milton's well clued up on the form. Like he's going to get creative, isn't he?
He just lacked the gears of Pied Piper there, didn't he? I thought he might be coming to have another crack at him coming to the last. He just lacked the gears, which suggests a stronger pace or, of course, maybe a step up and drip. What a lovely treat that was for us then. That was the 240. What is coming up next? That's the question. Oh, we go up to the Town Moor, do we, finally? Woo-hoo. And, OK. We were musing yesterday in the office here, Barry, about what price Aesop Fables would go. On form, he's clear. But the market suggests he might have a fight on his hands today.
Yeah, he's been better than low 2.06, which is around the even money mark on the exchange. He's out to 2.56 now, which is 6-4, but he has been matched at a high of 2-1. So there, he's kind of middle ground there. He probably was a bit short at around the even money mark, given the ground conditions. But 2.54 now, 4.3 Breeson, Hispanic 6.8, 16 Simple Man would do is 18, 19 Legend is Xanadu, and 26 Bar the other two. I just thought Simple Man could run well for Henry Candy and David Probert, the Nottingham Maiden that he won. The horses that were placed in it have ran okay in defeat since without winning. I thought the step up, I thought the 6 furlongs here, perfect for him. Obviously, he won over 5 furlongs on his debut. Now, the ground was good to firm that day. He's an invincible spirit, so he should go on the ground, okay? He's a big old price. We're just going to throw a dart here, Kate. We're going to back him win only in the win market on the Betfair Exchange. Currently trading at 16. Happy to be a price taker here. We're going to have 25 quid win at 16 Simple Man.
Right. You're pleased to hear this. All of a sudden, the trophy, I mean, you're going to do well to beat Kate after
she's got a leg up on me at the moment.
She's doing more than that, actually. Yeah, definitely. But you're coming back, and you are hoping that this might level it up because you're with Barry.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want Barry to be throwing a dart. I want him hitting the bullseye here. You know, as in Simple Man. Yeah, I like I say, we spoke about it earlier. He won nice at Nottingham. Like I said to you, I think it's Henry Candy's. I think it's his only 2-year-old winner of the season. I don't think he's someone that's renowned for having him keyed up first time. So the fact that he did that and that he spoke sort of quite so positive about the horse, it gives you a bit of optimism. Yeah,
he knew his job. I think I wrote.
He was a breeze up
horse
for
this
chap. He came in the breeze up, so that probably helps. But I think Henry Candy said that he'd come from the breeze up, so he knew his job well enough, but he still expected him to improve significantly.
That's right, but he's going to need to, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
Racing Post rating of 83, and you've got a horse rated 111 in Aesop's Fables. I mean, I don't know. He's coming in now again, Aesop's Fables, guys, isn't he? We thought that this might have been yesterday. I say we, myself, Paul Keeley, we were chatting about this in the office, and we, yesterday we were thinking about our selection and things like that. And I looked at Bresson. I think Bresson is a 6 furlong horse.
It just confused me because, I mean, granted it was over 7, but he was too keen the last day.
He travelled through it like a classy animal, though.
Yeah, but now he's dropping back, and now we're putting blinkers on.
You remember when he got beaten second time up? It was by a horse called Victory Dance on the July course. He veered all the way across the track. And while he didn't do that when he won easily in a Mickey Mouse race at Yarmouth, he might just have the odd quirk. He wore cheap pieces last time, so they're mixing up the headgear. It's a good move. But again, he's 93. He's rated a stone below Aesop's Fables. Why is Aesop's Fables...
How much faith can you put in these ratings, Dave, with these 2-year-olds that can take a step forward or be regressing at this time of year? It's not like they're all well exposed at this stage.
Well, he is a Group 2 winner, Barry. So he is clear on form. We can say that. There wouldn't be. There
It
wouldn't
was
be
a
any.
poor group through. The Futurity has worked out a poor race.
But he's, you know, he was their representative in the Dewhurst. You know, I don't know, the ground would be the worry, I think, because when he got beaten by Al Riffer, he was, you know, Al Riffer was obviously shown himself to be a proper animal. But in the
he's
Group
a good
1,
horse.
yeah, that was in the Phoenix Stakes, wasn't it?
Phoenix Stake, yeah.
He's a big old boy, isn't he? And
National Stakes.
and Proud and Regal was in that race as well, who's won the Grand, whatever it is, Songclue. Grand de Songclue,
Yeah.
we'll take
Grand
that.
de Songclue.
Yeah, Chartrash is in there. You know, Hans Anderson's a horse they still like, isn't it? Look, the ground is the worry, I guess. But I just think at odds against, you're potentially looking at a horse that.
So you're
really
a backer at 2.4.
I am. Yeah.
But the issue, like the problem is right now, who's to say Simple Man won't be of that level?
Henry Candy obviously thinks he's worth stepping up to this because they could have run in another novice and then put him away for a 3-year-old.
And look, the chances are maybe he won't
see,
be.
the thing with Aesop's Fable, Dave, is in the national stakes in Ireland that day, he went off odds on and he only finished fourth. Now, obviously, like you say, Al Riffer's proved himself to be a decent horse, but that was soft ground. So there has to be a concern about him on the ground.
There is a slight concern about him on the ground, or maybe more than that, I think, and that's probably what is factored in. That's why you're getting the odds, isn't it? But I don't know. I've got to be taking the chance because I just think he's definitely the best horse in the race, without question. So certainly what they've shown so far. Like I say, I like Bresson. I think Aesop's Fables needs to run. I mean, why run him here? They could have gone to the breeders with him and things like that, you know.
That's my concern. Why are they running him here almost? I know, like,
He looked really good, didn't he, when he won that day? You know, he looked quick. It was a bit of a false pace, but I can see why they're dropping back to the 6, basically.
Really? See, I didn't think he really liked the early gallop last time out then, which is sort of my concern for going back then in trip.
You're a layer.
From the 7. I am, yeah. Like I say, he probably is about a fair price now. To be honest, but I am just concerned, even with this significant drop in grade then for him, why are they taking such a drop in grade then for him, just to get another win out of him? And yeah, with that early gallop, I didn't think he looked totally comfortable last time out either, so I kind of wonder whether or not this is going to set itself up well for him in this race as well. So yeah, no, I'd be a layer. But then I sort of thought, okay, I'll take him on. What on earth do I take him on with? It was just that kind of a race. Hispanic, I guess, and the seemingly second string then for this yard, because he was a real eye-catcher on his debut when he was third at Nace, and sort of many people also spotted that, sided with him next time out at the Curragh, finished fourth again. Then he didn't fire in the manner expected. Stuck the blinkers on him last time out, and they didn't see which way he went. The negative for him, thanks to Professor Mount for this, coming into this race on the back of a prep in a 5 or 5.5 furlong race, is a notable negative. Obviously, he won over 5 furlongs last time out, but it was so impressive. The time was rubbish. Form doesn't look that great. But it was the visual impression.
Much sterner test awaits him, basically, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely so. But
Okay.
I'd still side with him at that price, I think.
All right, okay, so not the Mount of Ryan Moore for Kate, Aesop's Fables. Hispanic, Wayne Lorden, the recipient. We're watching him going down now. There we go, let's get another social up. Oh, no, of course, here we go, hang on a minute. A reminder to you. Now, here we go, Are you ready? Get a free Racing Post thermal jacket. Wow. Take out an annual subscription to the Members Club Ultimate. That's it, go on, sign up basically. Enter the code JACKET22. JACKET22. And you get a thermal jacket. You've got 30 days to do that as well. So there you go. You get a chance to win a thermal jacket.
Does that mean it's extra warm?
I don't know. I don't think I own a thermal jacket.
Yeah, we were discussing this earlier, weren't we? That I've got a heated jacket, which is the best thing I've ever bought. Honestly, the best thing I've ever owned.
Would you charge it or something like that?
So you have a little portable charger. In the pocket, it has a little USB port. You plug your portable charger in, you press the button.
When you're on the gallops,
It
it
heats up, yep.
keeps you warm.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't wear it in the rain.
Yeah, you may get frazzled. I'm not brave enough to have done that yet.
Go over to San Moritz, then you'll be absolutely fine. Aidan has won this race 2 years ago with a horse called, a very forgettable horse called Call Me Teddy. I really don't remember that horse at all. Night of Thunder has won this race, though, a Guineas winner. So you get some very good horses in this race. Is it a case with Aesop's Fables that they're going to the well? He's a 2-year-old, let's crack on, not many opportunities now. I think personally they could have taken him to the Breeze Cup, might still. And I think he's just at that price. He's one that you've got to be with. Bresson's been strong in the market, Barry, hasn't he, for Team Dettori and Gosden, who've got Epitectus coming up in the biggie.
Yeah, and first-time blinkers on him as well. He's 4.0, 2.58 now is Aesop's Fables. So he was into 2.38, but he's on a massive slide now at 2.6 as we speak. 7.4 Hispanic. That's the second string. And that's the one that there's been money for as well, matched at a high of 9.0 on the Betfair Exchange. Simple Man is still 16, same price as would do. 15.5, Legend of Xanadu. That's coming for a little bit of support.
That was the Woodcut winner from memory, wasn't it? Shannon's. Woodcut winner. They always find it so tough. Most of them. Pinatubo would be the obvious fly in the ointment with that theory. But
I still love the Woodcut, but like you say, it's just not... Can't go on from it nowadays.
Very mixed bag these days, and you get in the Woodcut basically. Waddell, we should mention him as well. He's done some big dances, isn't he, for Doncaster, who of course took out the Group 1. Oshinor, the recipient there, secret guest. Big improver potentially for Harrison Shaw and Brian Smart. And the maiden, Sophia's Starlight, who for Grant Shure needs to find another leg, I think. But good luck to them. Nick Bradley, of course, do so well with their 2-year-olds in training those guys. All right, so we are We're now 35 minutes away from the final Group 1 of the season here. If
Aiden's adrifting, is that a concern to you or not?
I think probably the support for the second string would be the one, the way that you'd look at. Yeah, possibly.
I'm just saying, as a yard, would that be a concern? You know, as we've talked about this before.
They don't often, do they? They don't often drift right out. They're going in the stalls. So, Simple Man for you?
Yeah.
Simple Man for a simple man.
Exactly.
Absolutely. All right, Hispanic's a good-looking horse, isn't he?
Yeah.
Very good-looking. He's a little bit flighty, so I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to take him along.
It's bad that you've taken David Carr's gag.
What? Simple Man. Did he? When we spoke to him? He's our rover. I didn't know.
You wouldn't.
Honestly.
If they're all that red wine, you can't remember much of this morning.
Honestly, some low blows aimed in my way. Sophia Starlight, we're hoping that she goes in, actually, because she's holding us all up at the minute.
You know, we talk about first-time headgear, then the first-time hood for the John and Thady Gosden horses, a notable positive. Totally the opposite for blinkers, believe it or not. Totally the opposite then. So, yeah, not a strong trend for it going the other way. First-time headgear in blinker form. Not good for the Gosdens. Hood, yes. Blinkers, no.
OK, all right. Fair enough. OK, reminder, we'll be back to Cheltenham. Are we going back to Newbury? Are we done with Newbury?
Done with Newbury.
Done with Newbury, just two.
Bye-bye to the flat in Berkshire then, basically. Jumpers coming back out. Cannot wait for that in Newbury. Keep your jumpers to follow coming in, guys. I want to see them building up. I made a plea for that, didn't I? I want to hear your jumpers to follow out there. Darker the better. Or maybe you're just going to go straight for a Gold Cup winner. All right, away we go. What's going to win this listed race over the 6 furlongs? Auguste Rodin, straight out, steadied right at the start by Ryan Moore as his stablemate Hispanic, and perhaps unsurprisingly, really taking him along at a clip. And Bresson lit up by the first-time blinkers, and Simple Man right up sides.
Yeah, he's running with the choke out as well. David Probert seems to be sort of trying to anchor him, but yeah, he's running free enough at the moment.
He's desperate for some cover, isn't he? He's not getting it as they come up the middle of the course then. This is just a little taster, isn't it, for what's to come over the mile in the Vertem. It's going to be blooming hard work there, guys, that's for sure. Waddell's in there at the moment. Aesop's Fables, how's he going in the market, Barry?
Out to 3.65 now. The one in front's your favourite at 6 to 4, 2.52. Legend of Xanadu seems to be running on. Hispanic looks the one they need to get to.
Well, you need to basically, if you're on the fav, he's coming, but you need a pace collapse. Bresson has indeed collapsed. I'll tell you what, Simple Man's running absolute blinder here, isn't he? They obviously know what they've got at home, but yeah, Barry's called it maybe Legend of Xanadu. Spirit of Xanadu's going to come and get the money, is he? Aesop's Fables does not like that ground whatsoever. He's come to win his race and he's going up and down on the spot. Looks like a horse that's caught between 6 and 7 furlongs. He's finishing, but I don't think he's going to get there, guys, is he? As the speedy Spirit of Xanadu is going to see him off. I tell you what, Waddell's run a big race as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Aesop's Fables second then. Weird run. Hated the ground. That's what I'm going to say. Barry was right. The market was right on him as well.
Yeah, your winner, the Betfair SP of 15. We did flag him up as there was money for him before the race. He was matched a high of 40 odd on the Betfair Exchange, would you believe? But the damage done at around 25 all the way down to his Betfair SP of 15.1. Hispanic traded odds on and running, Dave, or traded at a low of 2.28, which is just 5 to 4. Outside of that, there's no real massive in running new. Bresson didn't trade low really at all in running of 3.7, which was pre-race. Aesop Fables hit a low of evens, but I think that was pre-race as well.
A lot of these horses wobbling on the ground. Bresson's won a really funny race, isn't he? Because he's fallen in a hole about 2 furlongs out, and watch him. Look, he's coming back at the end, probably.
Keeping.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes over to America, that horse, or something like that. All right, Aesop's Fable then. Good day to have for Donica O'Brien I should say. Woodall, he'd probably be your benchmark for the race. But fair play to the Shannons.
13th start of the season.
They do run their horses. They don't. They're like, you know, like we're saying about Milton Harris and these horses. They do run them, don't they?
Yeah, that's it. And I can't remember. I think it was this time of year. Professor Mount tipped this horse up, and fair play to him. But it was on the Mick Shannon stats then for this time of year, I believe. I don't want to quote it because I'll misquote it.
Yeah, he did come in support. Didn't he? Barry was right about that. Let's look at this. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. This time of year then, and another one to come back in trip then as well, where we talked about beforehand with this race, prepping for it over 5 and 5.5 furlongs, not the way to go. You want a horse that's show themselves over further.
That
to
was
come
slow
back
motion finish a little bit.
Spanish have to drop back in trip. It was way too free. You know,
you can see what
he's
actually run well. Simple Man's run well considering he's fallen out the back of the telly towards the end, but he's shown a lot of speed, hasn't he?
He did, yeah.
And at one point he was really trying to hang in there.
Yeah.
Watch out for him next year, I think.
The winner's 13th run of the season.
Yeah.
Remarkable.
Yeah, 13th time lucky. So again, running your horses, and again, fitness on that. And it, like Kate said, coming back, he finished behind a horse called Streets of Gold, didn't he? At York last time. Very talented horse for the Johnson Houghtons, of course. All right, he gave him £3 that horse and beat him quite readily. So there we go then. All right, 2 more to come from Donny. I'm thrilled to say we're only just starting the party there this afternoon. Welcome along if you're joining the party here on Racing Post Live in association with Betfair, myself, Dave Orton, Charlie Post, Kate Tracey, and the big hitter himself, Barry Orr, is having some day again. All right, 3:15, Barry. A lot of people saying in the chat, greatest sight in racing, chasers at Cheltenham. This time, the speedsters come out.
Yeah, this is a weird race for me, Dave. I was fancying laying Eder de Gite, and you could lay it at around 4.6 this morning, and it's out to 8.4 now. So almost doubled in price. Has doubled in price, Eder de Gite. Clear the runway 3.65, 5.4 Dad Lad, 8.6 Eder de Gite, 8.2 Poseidon, the Widowmaker 8.6, Effenock Fizz 9.6. I can't lay Eder de Gite at that price at 9.0 now. He must only have 3 legs walking around the parade ring in Cheltenham. You want to get a good look at him, but so I'm going to sit this one out, Dave, because that was my lay in the race, and I'm just going to be. It's just responsible gambling week. No harm just sitting it out. I know we're only playing to showcase the functionality of the Betfair Sportsbook and Exchange, but I'm not going to chase out the price there.
And if you're going to go to the bar for one and just sit down and watch it, this is going to be one to enjoy, isn't it? That's for sure. I did it in the previous race at Cheltenham, absolutely. If you're not sure, guys, if in doubt, stay out, is the saying. I remember Roger Varian saying that to me once. If in doubt, stay out. All right, so we're doing that.
What was that in reference to?
That was in about. He was umming and ahhing whether to run a horse in a race. Oh. And he wasn't sure. Did you say he was out in the pub?
Yeah, I thought you were on a night out.
No.
You were stood outside the door.
Couldn't really imagine being on a night out with Roger.
I go back in?
He makes you a little bit tense, Roger does. He's a really nice guy. Really nice guy. He's got
so calm.
Trying to make Roger laugh is a good challenge for someone like me, because I know it's in there. And he's sort of like, he just thinks you're a buffoon most of the time, but then just towards the back end of an interview, I'd try and get him to smile on it, and he does do it. But he makes you raise your game, I think, Roger Varian. He's one of those.
Hence why he says,
if in doubt, stay out.
When you're at the
so
pub.
He wasn't sure. Well, quite, absolutely. I should always listen. But it was in reference to a horse. He wasn't sure whether it would like the ground. So with any doubts, we're staying out. So it's a good MO into his thinking, really. If the horse is there, it's... Lord of Biscay, obviously, in the first race at Horace Hill, hated that ground, but they obviously thought he had a very good chance in it. All right, so we wave goodbye to Newbury. Back to Cheltenham we go then. Barry sitting this one out. Lots of pace on in the race. Yeah. Well, but let's get the tips out of the way, and then we'll go to some social comments that are coming in.
Yeah, I gone for Dad's Lad with the fact that, like you say, Willie Mullins doesn't bring many over here. I think he likes this sort of end of summer ground, He's been a progressive horse. I mean, he got beat last time back over hurdles. I think he's a better chaser. He's up a stack for his last win at Killarney 12 or something like that. But I think there is still mileage in that. And I mean, I was looking at the fact that there's loads of pace in this, and he is a bit of a closer. Yeah. But my concern, as I said to you guys before, is so often you get this where you think there's going to be loads of pace, and then everyone thinks that too, and then they let Eder de Gite have an easy time of it in front. But it'll be interesting. The one that, again, there was an interest... Effenock Fizz obviously raced off 133 here. Would actually be racing off 114 if they'd stayed at home.
The Welsh champion hurdle winner.
Yeah. Because in Ireland, they don't have the same rule over here. They immediately put you up to your hurdle mark.
Sam Ewing's a jockey I like.
Yeah, he's having a great time.
He's a good pilot, isn't he? Yeah, all right, we've got Poseidon in there for Gordon Elliott as well. All right, so you're going to stick with Willie Mullins to have a winner on his first run at this meeting since 2011. Great to see the Mullins team over, isn't it? Yeah, if he's 2 from 3 over fences. It was a very valuable hurdle he ran in last time at Listowel, and again, I'm a bit surprised that he's the price he is. Really, we've got a winning machine here. Anyone like Clear the Runway?
The thing with Clear, I love him, and I think Laura Morgan, this is just a perfect horse to showcase Laura Morgan's genius, basically.
You're a fan as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
Laura Morgan. Oh, I just love her. She's so great. And she's a great person as well as a brilliant trainer. But, I mean, this lad has been picking up small runner races throughout the summer. He's now found himself on a mark of 142. If he goes and wins this and gets up towards being a 150 horse, do you not then start to doubt why was he running in the summer if he's a 150 rated horse? You know, it's kind of that middle ground where you're like, well, is he a summer jumper that has now found himself on an inflated mark facing real winter horses, or is he really that good and you kind of think, oh, well, he would have had a big prize in him if he actually was a 150 horse?
This is now against the big boys, and I think we can agree with that. Each of the last 6 winners of this, there have been some classy winners of this as well, which I'll go through in a minute, have been making their seasonal reappearance. Yeah.
Yesterday, though, was the theme of horses that have been running throughout the summer, where I normally try and side with the class angle, where I think, right, they're coming up against the big boys now, and those sort of weaknesses are going to be exposed now against proper class horses. Yesterday, that wasn't the case. It was the fitness.
Is that ground related, though?
Probably.
You could potentially call this the end of the summer season, couldn't you? The final. This is like their cup finals, some of them.
I'm surprised Clear the Runway's favourite.
You're a big fan of Laura Morgan, isn't you? You've talked to her before.
Yeah, I think she's a very good trainer.
And Adam Wedge has obviously got the nod there.
Excellent rider. She's a very good £7 claimer as well, like called Lewis Dobb. That I think is a very good.
Is it the Widowmaker then for you?
For me, yes, the Widowmaker, who was a potential one of those pace dangers then within this. But we know that the Widowmaker, for all that he can be keen, he can also take a drop back as well and just sit in behind the pace. Because like I say, you look at pace maps, you look at the pace in a race, everyone else looks at the same, including connections. And very often you can get the situation where you just get one, but it's trying to predict which one that's going to be. But yeah, Editor de Gite, given the drift on him, because I wondered whether or not this was going to be a sighter reappearance for him. He blew up on his reappearance last year. And by the sounds of the drift, it seems as though he may be needing this in the paddock this time around. So I was happy to take him on. Dad's Lad I really like, but Willie Mullins away from the festival, he'd be making a loss if he backed his horses blind. And but I really do like that horse. I just wonder why he's over here. Clear the Runway spoke about him. Poseidon's very interesting for Gordon Elliott, of course, in the colours of Camilla Sharples, who is Gordon Elliott's travelling head girl, who literally must have the Midas touch with horses. She now has Sam Crow to run pointing, and she of course had Cruz Linen,
who bolted up,
who absolutely hosed up. Yeah, so she just has the Midas touch. She even won the charity race on Amir Kabir at Punchestown. Everything she touches wins. Ethanol Fizz. But I don't get this placing with her. I don't really get it, because if she goes close
Makes
here,
no sense.
She's going to be absolutely hammered for her hurdle mark as well then.
Interesting.
So I don't get it. El Baracho again picking up small field races, so it kind of default leaves me on the Widowmaker, who ran a solid race behind Miller's Bank, who has a really good chance in the Old Rowan Chase tomorrow. Yep,
OK, there you are. Oh, yes, of course, the Old Rowan, a really good card at Aintree tomorrow, isn't it? All change. Clocks go forward, of course, next weekend here in Britain. All right, OK, let's get some social love up. And we're hearing that Aidan O'Brien is happy to let August Rodin run as well, guys. You're probably hearing that news that's in now, breaking on our website, and that sort of thing. There was some concern about it, but he's going to let the favourite run in the Vertem Futurity coming up in, around about 20 minutes' time. All right, Dim joins us back and says, jump for fun over 3 mile 2. Oh, OK. Some Russian something beat him. Do you mean something Russian? Could be a jumper to follow. Has that happened at Kelso today?
Not sounds Russian. Sounds Russian?
Sounds Russian? Sounds Russian, not something Russian. It is Russian something. Very good, Dim. All right, he could be a jumper to follow. Yeah, I'm looking for that. Oh, yeah, OK. That's just happened at in the Edinburgh Gin Chase National or something like that. Edinburgh Gin Chase is a good name. Great to see him coming back, of course, for the Grahams. Yeah, sounds right. He was in the Dusart race as well, wasn't he? Yes, that's the horse that Dusart. OK, like that. Devo comes on. Russian Rumour, Fire Step, and the Happy Chapati are one to follow from the stables, the Henderson stable. Yes, Fire Step is very, very well regarded, isn't he? Absolutely, Devo. Chris Timms, welcome back, Chris. Jumps horse to follow. Here we go. Antobar. Won a point-to-point by 20 lengths. Gone to Henry de Bromhead for Rob Court and will probably follow a similar path to Bob Ollinger in his novice season. And Tobar, there you go. Okay, you heard it here from Chris. Great stuff, guys. Love to hear these jumpers to follow. You've been putting them all in, have you?
Yeah, just looking them through, yeah.
Are you getting the nod of approval? They're a testy bunch.
I know, no, exactly.
All right, and Tobar.
What's your jumper to follow then?
I know that Jet Powered is very well regarded by Nicky and the team, I think, at home. I put up, I love him, the monstrous three-stripe life.
He's
just been waiting to go chasing,
yeah.
isn't he? And I think he will rise right to the top. I really do.
I chucked one in there, one of the Skeltons, Lac de Constance, I think, chasing now.
How do we spell that? Colours?
He won. He was unbeaten last year over hurdles, moderate company. He won a listed hurdle at Exeter that wasn't very deep.
Yes.
But he's always been seen as a chaser in the making, and they've been taking their time with him. He was actually fancy for one that 2.5 mile handicap hurdle at the Grand National meeting. Lac de Constance.
Lac de Constance.
Lac du Constance. DU.
Lack of constances. All right, okay. I'll remember that now because of that. Exeter Leicester winner. Yeah, that's always an interesting race there. 3:15 at Cheltenham, the second round at the start. Jumper to follow, Kate?
Saint Felicien. I had Saint Palais. I had the Saint Descentes double, Saint Palais and Saint Felicien. Don't know why I pronounce those two differently. But yeah, Saint Palais, who was a non-runner in the first, his main aim is the Albert Bartlett at the end of the season to take advantage of his novice status. Proper horse he is for the Richard Bandyard. But Saint Felicien for Gordon Elliott found himself stuck between a complete rock and a hard place last year because he broke his novice status at the wrong time of year on the 13th of March in France. So he only had one race as a novice, won that, and this is the season to go at him.
All right, thank you, Kate. There you go, some jumpers to follow. Keep them coming in, guys. We love it. But off we go. And we were expecting loads of pace on, and myself and Kate were hoping that the Widowmaker might come and pick it up. He's actually going to lead over the first. Definite Fizz up, surprisingly, is up there. Not so great at the first, the favourite there. Chased the runway. He was a little bit skew if, and he's quite keen out the back. El Baracho in third. Editor Jeet. Yeah, it's got to be a side to this, isn't
Must
it?
be, yeah.
Must be, because he's sitting out the back. Unless, of course, they've looked at the race and thought, well, there's no point in us doing it. Dad's Lad out the back as well. And the final one I've not mentioned, looking down, is Poseidon, of course, in those Camilla Sharple colours then. First one for Gordon Elliott. On a quick double, of course. What are we liking then, guys? Because the Widowmaker's gone right to the front, Charlie.
Widowmaker has, with the hood on that you really love. Seems a little bit keen at the moment, but, has jumped well early doors. Clear the runway again, brush through the top there. Bit of a difference jumping these fences of the summer tracks.
Okay, I've got a quote coming in from Milton Harris about Night Salute, which I'll tell you after this. Barry, then we're going out onto the far side. Not quite the order we expected so far.
Yeah, no, nothing in running to report, Dave, really. They're only just passing the stand. 4.4 Dad Lad, 6.2 the Widowmaker, 6.4 Editor de Jeet. He travels well. He doesn't have to get to the front, Editor de Jeet. But, nothing really to report.
Interesting, isn't it? And look at Brian Hazlett looking right on from the rear on the 135, 2 from 3 so far over fences for Dad's Lad. Widowmaker, again, you just see why they wear the hood, these horses, can't you? A bit buzzy in front, but I think I'd rather him in front, actually. When he won at Exeter on his chasing debut, I really thought he was going to be horse to follow, so let's hope he comes back to that form. It's been a bit of a quiet time for the Tizzards as well. Still early days, though, isn't it? Effenot Fizz, back over fences, jumping all right, are the trickiest of the fences?
Yeah, jumped well so far. Like you say, she's not the biggest in the world, but yeah, it's fenced nicely up to now.
Are these the trickiest fences in the land, or is it Sandown?
I don't think they're the trickiest fences. I mean, they're just proper Grade 1 trackers in that they're there to be respected, and certainly for some of these summer horses switching over, I just
like Chase the Runway. Yeah. All right. So
they look bigger. Yesterday, that's what I was thinking. I was watching it. I thought, good, the Cheltenham fences look bigger than they did before.
Well,
they look really big.
I think he's certainly making them. Poseidon's just feeling the pinch a little bit out the back. He's probably one that's struggling a bit, I think. And she keeps catching the eye, doesn't he? El Baracho, again, another one that comes into it in red hot form at the moment. Absolutely, she's tiny, isn't she? Effenot Fizz, you can see in comparison to some of these bigger built chasers. But the Widowmaker still leads onto the far side. You can see clear the runway, look all the way out to around about 5-1 on the exchange at the moment. Dad's Lad, the one they're coming for now then, Barry, the Mullins horse.
Yeah, into 2-1 now, 3.05, 5.6 clear the runway, and it's 6 bar.
Lovely. All right. Okay. What do we reckon then, guys? Come on. We're coming. Is this now the tricky third last?
Yes, it is, yeah. The Widowmaker's got into a really good rhythm, I think, you know. Effenot Fizz has been up there. El Baracho's travelled strongly, just coming off the bridle now.
Confident on yours,
Dad's
isn't
lad ridden with plenty of space, to make sure he gets a good side to this downhill fence.
Yeah,
We see
okay,
the big
over it
one,
we
Bert?
go. There's always a few errors here. Yeah, chase the runway. It's unfortunately.
Effenot Fizz odds on now.
Well, she's a Welsh champion hurdle winner. She's a terrier. All of a sudden, Dad's lad looks like he's out of his
hanging
ground a
left.
bit.
Look at
Yeah,
look at
okay.
Hazen Ray,
Wow, look at
trying
the
to
race.
pull him across.
Really
Desperate
trying to
go
hang,
the
isn't
horse
he?
has to go to the inside.
But I don't think he's done with, is he? The Widowmaker now starting to struggle a little bit as we turn into the most famous of home straights then. And it is Effenot Fizz. Could this be just
the
a bit of
Irish are
genius
all
pace?
over it.
Here
Dad's
comes
lad.
Dad's lad now. Oh, Willie Mullins hasn't had a
He'll
run
be
of this
really
meet
happy
since
now they're straightened up.
2011. I think next year he'll be bringing more back. Editor Jagit, it certainly was a sight. She's still in front though. Effenot Fizz. Dad's lad, it's some ride this, isn't it?
Go on.
Really nice. Okay, bigger price than he expected. They're tussling. She
Oh,
does
look, he's
not
leaning
want to
all
go
over
down.
her. It's
not
Look
gonna
at
help him,
Effenot.
Jet. He wants
No,
to
he's
hang
hanging
left
into
back.
her as
Hanging
well. I
all
think we
over
might
the
see
little
some
good
ding
mare.
dongs after this one as well. But Dad's lad has got
Get
the
in.
lot. 3 from 4 over fences. Why doesn't Willie Mullins come over more often in October?
Thank God he
That's the
doesn't.
question, isn't it? Barry, he was hanging like a gate turning into the home straight.
Yeah, but he kept his whip in his left hand,
Yeah.
so he's done everything he could to keep the horse corrected. At 1.50, so 2-1 on your runner-up, Equinox Fizz, young Sam Ewan. He's lost nothing in the feet there. He really is. He's got a very bright future. He really has. But Brian Hayes just getting the better of him there. In that, plus a 4.6 for Dad's lad. Betfair SP at 4.6. Cleared Runway was your favourite at 4.3, but it's a good old tussle. I wonder, will there be an inquiry?
Yeah, might well be. I think we'll probably see a horse that will be coming back for the Grand Annual, all being well there, won't we? I would imagine.
Some of them ran stink, didn't they?
Yeah,
Someone
they did.
like Editor de Gite, the market knew about that. That's for sure. He's never raised the gallop, really, did he?
What price that he's a lot shorter in the betting for his repeat winning at the November meeting, and he'll probably bounce out in front that day, won't he? But as Kate said, leading up to the race, he's not often best first time out. This is when we thought, right, this is
Brian
going to
Hayes done very well here,
Yeah, because he's
this was
constantly
not
hanging,
easy,
isn't he?
as in to keep horse going forward when all he wants to go is go left.
Yeah.
Sam Ewan, though, has done really well because he made sure he couldn't get up his inside there going down to the last shot to jump in the second last, which has made it ever more difficult for Brian Hayes.
I'll tell you what, he's a bit of an eye catcher, Editor G. I'm just watching that back. We were honed in on the tight finish. Just watching.
You knew
him
the
coming
crap
up.
though with him as soon as they jumped off Editor's
Let's have a
sheet,
look.
didn't you?
Yeah, pretty much. Look, let's have a look. Yeah, he's fun on, isn't he? I think they'll be quite encouraged by that because the handicap will probably drop him a few pounds.
Do you think?
I think he probably will.
You reckon he'd drop him for that?
I think he'll drop him a pound or two.
I'd be surprised. He might get a pound, I'd say.
He's a
think he will.
British runner.
Yeah. Effenot Fizz, the interesting thing
we're all
now
getting dropped.
is,
Everyone gets
how much would Effenot Fizz have won in Ireland off 114?
She's absolutely scuppered her chase mark.
She will, even in Ireland now, she's going to have to go up
Yeah.
to nearly 133.
Yeah, there's going to have to bridge that
red
gap.
hot form, and they've come over to Cheltenham to try and win a race, haven't they? And
I'm
that's
not
what it's all
disputing
about,
that, but I'm
isn't it?
just saying, they've blown that mark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
she's
she looked odd in the first place, and then when she came there tanking on the home straight, I thought, well, there you go. But then they've bumped into.
She is.
Which
in
kind of, I'm not saying the
rude
worst possible result because she's won 14 grand, but
Yeah.
she's got beat and she's going to get a.
And she could have
chunk
won how
of
much
weight.
more in Ireland then, and especially off that mark of a succession. You under.
Okay, all right. I'm going to give you some quotes because Irish have taken the last 2 races.
After we won the first 3 yesterday,
Yeah.
or was it 4
I know,
yesterday?
I know,
we were
I
like,
know.
yes, the Renaissance is on.
It was
and
nice
then
when it started,
John McConnell won everything.
while it lasted. Elliot on Pied Piper. He's got a lot stronger since last season. Love the way he put his head down and galloped to line. Nice horse, will be trained as a champion hurdle horse, and he will now go, all being well, to Down Royal for the WKD. As an individual, just way stronger. Even looking like the ring, he's looked like a chaser. With the juveniles, you want to see the scope there. It's as strong a division as they're out there. We can go to bed dreaming tonight anyway, says Gordon. Milton Harris, not happy with the pace of the race for Night Salutes. Just didn't settle basically as he normally does. Will go away, might go down the elite hurdle route, something like that, or he could go to France because he doesn't really want to run him an handicap of 146 over here.
But without being rude, that is saying that you don't think he's a champion hurdler.
No, he's not a champion hurdler.
Because without being rude, if he's saying, we don't want to run the handicap off 146, you're not a champion hurdler, right?
That means you're not really a 146 horse, are you? So yeah, absolutely. So it could be a tough season ahead for Night Salute, but you watch Milton, he'll be trying to find and exploit the opportunities out there, I am sure. Irish dominance at Cheltenham, then it is. We must go up to the Town Moor Final Group 1 of 2022. What a year we've had. It's been absolutely brilliant, hasn't it? We've been covering all these Group 1s, Barry, and it's been an absolute pleasure to do so. And you think you've got a right one here?
Yeah, Augusta Rodin he's a really, really smart racehorse. Obviously, second to Crypto Force on his debut. He was an odds-on chance that day. We all know what Crypto Force has gone on to do. Then he, next time out in Nace, he won his maiden over 7 furlongs, stepped him up to the Group 2. Champion Juveniles on Irish Champions Weekend in Leopardstown over a mile on soft ground, and he duly obliged there. Stamina is all this horse does is going to stay. And I think he's a very backable price now. When he was an even money chance, I was on good ground. Like, I was thinking of lengthening our odds on him that feature on the Betfair Sportsbook that's so popular. But we're just going to back him in the outright win market at 2-1, please, Kate. And we're going to have €25 win at 2-1. Happy to be a price taker here. It's 7-2 Epitatus, 8 Holloway Boys. Same price for Salt Lake City, the second string of Aidan O'Brien's. That's been bet down from 16. So he's half the price, Salt Lake City. King of Steel is 11.5. It's 16 bar. You know Salt Lake City is going to try to go off. He's going to set serious fractions. He could get loose on the lead out in front, but let's throw down a very, very smart horse. All
right, OK. Barry seeing the ball big here. Once again, another profitable afternoon for the big hitter. I just don't know what to make of this race. It's, Luxembourg, Kamiko, Magna Graecia, Saxon Warrior. We know this produces the classic winners. OK, Kingsbarns, Kingston Hill, Elm Park, all proper horses. And I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. It's once raced maiden novice winners don't often win it, but I am very excited about this King of Steel, whatever he does today. He is huge. Barry mentioned Crypto Force there, of course, at Horse Ramo Racing. They like their whoppers as 2-year-olds, and he couldn't have won any easier than he did. It comes quite quickly for him, and I'm fascinated by the fact that they're running him here. Yeah. They're rolling the dice, aren't they? It's. I wouldn't say it's a free hit. I
was going to say they've nothing to lose, have they really?
But you put him away, okay, and maybe he's a horse that needs soft ground. That might be something that we find with him as he goes through. Because you put him away through the winter, you've got something to keep you warm each morning there, haven't you? Because he's big, he costs a lot of money, he's got the breeding, he did it the right way at Nottingham.
You're going to cuddle up to him?
I would like to. Do you know what?
He'd be the kind of horse that you would.
Do you know what? Absolutely, Dave Orton. If you want to invite me up there, I will go and give him a big cuddle. He's a wooden basset, isn't he, out of a Verglass male. I think he's very interesting here. Me and Kills both liked him. Did everything, like I say, it comes quite quickly. You never know what they're going to get, but Dave Loughnane, Ammo, Adam Kirby, they'll be fancying their chances of doing something interesting here. I wasn't sure about Epitectus. August Rodin, I see it. I can't believe he's the price he is. But he's by that deep impact last crop, and I think he should be all right on the ground.
Do you reckon this drift is down to Aidan raising concerns about the ground?
Well, what was the quote this morning in the Racing Post?
Well, I mean, he basically
definitely doesn't want heavy ground.
But he runs him anyway.
And here he is on heavy ground. He's got 16% strike rate, deep impact on heavy ground.
His stats on slow ground are good.
Very good. 16% good to soft is actually his best. So, yeah, much better than he is on fast ground, funnily enough. This is the final crop of the great.
But I think Rhododendron was fine on slow ground, wasn't she?
I'm going to try and remind myself of that. She's out of Galileo, isn't she? Of course, halfway to heaven's home. Oh, I'm old. I remember all these horses like they were yesterday. Rhododendron. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's 38% strike rate. She was fine. She won a Group 1 at Chantilly. What was that? Remind myself. Hang on a second. Bear with me. Oh, it was a Prix de Diane at Chantilly. So she'll be absolutely. He should be absolutely fine. Sorry. So interesting money for the second string, isn't it? Salt Lake City. A couple of judges put this up to me yesterday, and Aidan. He doesn't win this with second strings.
No, he doesn't. No.
Kingsbarns 15-8. Saxon Warrior 13-8, Magna Graecia 2-1 Fav winner. Luxembourg backed off the boards. We all know what he did last year in this as well. Right horse, just like I was with Auguste Rodin. You took the with Aesop's Fable, in the previous race. It's back, isn't it? That price, I think probably.
And you could do with the winner.
I could definitely do with the winner. Thanks for that.
Cheers for reminding him.
Pal. Andrew Balding's won a listed race at Newbury this afternoon.
Don't worry, I'll buy you a pint.
Oh, happy day. You can buy me more than that. And Stormbuster's quite interesting.
The only thing is that High Bank, is he straightforward?
I think there's something physical with High Bank.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at Leicester, then the time after it was
We
not
backed him at
pretty, was
Leicester.
it?
Of course, and the horse that didn't do that in much good in the Horace Hill did it that form.
No.
So this is the horse that Stormbuster beat, of course, Highbank. Talk about balloons bursting and all that sort of thing. Salt Lake City, quite interesting, but I don't see it myself. He's just got that soft ground form. It was just he hosed up when he got soft ground, didn't he? But like
Holloway boy with the visor on.
I know, yeah. Do you think he's a thinker? Or because last time out I was on him and I just thought he was
I was too, but I mean the only thing I just think
thought
he
he was
got out,
unlucky?
like he got no split, like as in he was trapped in, and I think he's a big, rangy galloper. My concern would be the ground. I think he's a really good mover. This horse. I'm not convinced that heavy.
pivotal mare, isn't it? So
it is a pivotal mare. I agree with that.
But it's yeah, like you say. But it's his way of movement. His stride is just it allows him to glide over better ground. So that was a concern for me. But
it's him and
on a Ulysses.
It's him and
Get further.
Epictetus.
I'm with Epictetus.
You are.
Yeah.
Gosden's never won this race.
No, I know.
I had to sort of keep looking through that because I was sure
Was
he
it
might have
Roaring
done.
Lion got beat?
Which one?
Roaring Lion, did he not get beat?
Yeah,
Yes?
he probably did, didn't he?
He did. Yeah, he got beat by one of Aiden's. I can't remember which one.
Keep going.
Yeah, but I really like the horse. I mean, you know, he was impressive on his debut at Newmarket. I think behind Silver Knot, I just thought he lost nothing in defeat. I thought he got beat by a horse with more experience
Saxon
on the day.
Warrior beat him.
Saxon Warrior, thanks.
Anytime. We've got an interesting horse in here.
I
Beckett,
think this track might suit him better as well.
if there's a Sod's Law horse in the race,
Go on.
Oh, Captain Versba.
it's Captain Wiesba.
Yeah.
Visba? Visba. Captain Visba, who is, of course,
Elbow gate.
Elbowgate.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob Hornby.
Rosser.
Yeah, where's Rosser? Is he down at Newbury, isn't he? Rosser won.
Yeah, he won
Max
for
Vega.
Kate earlier. Yeah, Max Vega.
Max and Rosser.
He'll be looking up at this, won't he? But
You mentioned Saxon Warrior there.
yeah,
Just by deep impact.
Yeah.
Same as the favourite here.
good shout. Yes, he was. Absolutely. Saxon Warrior. Oh, what a horse that was in his early days.
Yeah, 'cause he was one of the
I'm a
ones
fan
at the
of Holloway
time,
Boy.
wasn't he, that they were really hoping that they would take off as a sire because to kind of mix up with the Galileo or the Galileo blood, you know, Saxon Warrior, they were big trying to get him into Cornwall, weren't
Of
they?
course, you got.
They're still trying, Charlie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This one.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all right. Let's get some socials in then and we approach the 5-minute mark. That's the ding-ding warning line if you've not got your trades on so far, or whichever way you're playing. Are you laying Augusta Rodin? Let's find out.
man, Andy.
Andy Sim comes back on. Andy, good to see you, man. Epictetus. Come on.
I
I'm
can't
gonna
stop
Tatus.
saying Epictetus now.
Epictetus. I like.
I think your colleague gave us the correct pronunciation of this the last time this horse ran.
Don't blow smoke up Wilders. You're right. He did, didn't he?
Robbie, and he was even able to tell us who the philosopher was.
He'd be into all that,
Greek
though, Barry,
philosophy,
wouldn't he?
isn't he? Oh.
I can see him being into all that, you know.
Mad as a
reading
box of
about
frogs is Rob.
philosophy and-
Good judge. Mad as a box of frogs. Tommy Orr. There we go. We often see Tommy coming on. Best surname in racing. I like King of Steel with me. He's a massive old boy, this. I'm excited about him, I must say. I'm excited. Could completely flop, but 10 to 1 around about that mark. What is he on the exchange at the moment? He's around about 12 to 1. There you go. That's the play, isn't it? And Dexter McCarthy. Talk about good names, Dexter. Great name. You were with Stormbuster. I think it was Stormbuster. It came off quite quickly there. And Toon 2020. He's been on with us all afternoon. Holloway Boy, each way bet to nothing. I'm worried about stamina for Holloway Boy. I know it's Ulysses. Now, I've got a theory on the headgear with him. Mm-hmm. If you watch him against Nostrum, I'm pretty sure that if you'd watched that market on the exchange, he would have gone really short that day. And even last time, he was running on again, having hit a little bit of a flat spot. He's a strong traveller. Go back to the Vintage Stakes at Goodwood. He came there looking like he was going to win his race again. This is his Group 1. This is the time to get him focused at the end. I think he could just elicit a bit of improvement. But I don't. There's something about the ground and the trip. It's just putting me off. I'm a big fan of his. How can you not be a horse that turns up at his debut at Royal Ascot? And
Yeah,
wins?
just because he only wanted some tickets.
Yeah, and the owners, held on to him and all that sort of stuff. So it'd be lovely to see him win, of course. All right, good luck then, you guys, with your selections out there. You've heard what we are. This is a big moment for you, Barry, because you put this up anti-post for the Derby.
I certainly did, yeah. I did. I'm happy to stick with him as well.
Okay. All right. Get your tomatoes ready.
What price is that at?
We're watching Sonclue, by the way. What are we watching here? Is this the Proud
Group
and
3.
Regal? Oh, right,
Mark
Group
Johnson, Charlie and Mark Johnson took out the Phillies Group 1. Danny Muscat.
3. With? Did they?
Yeah, 2 secs.
Was it with a jabber horse?
I know, Jabba.
Jabber, as Mick Shannon used to say. All right, oh yeah, the app promo, while these guys are
Dubai
slowing
Mile.
down the show. Dubai Mile.
Yeah.
Group 1.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
They've needed it.
Second to the Foxes last time out at Newmarket in the Royal Lodge.
Yes. That's a great boost for the Foxes, isn't it? Oshin source, of course. There's a new app. You just put your phone up to the QR code. Scan me. Says to download the new app. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, of course. That's all important, isn't it? Who said keep hitting the like button earlier? I love that one. Or was it Andy, wasn't it? Or someone, whoever that was. Absolutely great. Lovely to have you out there with us again this afternoon, guys. This is pretty much, we've had Baid now on Champions Day, been and gone, isn't it? Highlight of the flat season? Highlight of the flat season.
Highlight of the flat season.
We know Kate's because I've asked her last week.
Yeah.
Desert Crown winning the Derby for Stouty.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, I love that.
That was a great day in here, Barry, wasn't it, when we saw Stouty winning the Derby?
Certainly was, yeah. Fantastic result. I think we all backed it as well, didn't we? We all put it up on the panel.
Yeah, I felt the
A certain Marmite pundit had his day in the sun. A certain. I'll tell you what, just quickly on that. We don't sort of engage really, but he's not on Twitter anymore. He hasn't been for years. Not just because he's says the odd controversial thing or 10. But he's coming back with some jumps. He's got his power rankings at the moment as well, G. As Graham Rodway, of course.
Yeah. So what's that all about?
Well, the power rankings is what he thinks. It's your best horses, best chasers, best hurdlers. And they're going to change. We might see some progressive horses. There was a great example of one who was a 1-1-1 machine last year. Just kept rising up the rankings. He gave a good example. But each week in the paper, he will adjust them. He's going to do jockeys and trainers as well.
So how many are involved in the power rankings?
Well, I think all of them. I think is it the top 10 that he does, something like that. We'll get the graphics up. We're going to make it. It's going to become
11-4 the favourite now.
11-4. He's right on the slide. Right on the slide. No power about the ranking of August Rodin, says the market. The end of the flat season was the highlight of the flat season, says Dave Lowe.
Coming in for decent support into 9.8 now. He's a real springer in the market.
Which one?
Stormbuster.
Now, Andrew Balding has won this, of course, with Elm Park going back, and he has had a listed winner at Newbury today, Opera Forever. Oh, it was
Kamiko, was he Andrew Balding?
Kamiko, great shout. Yeah, the horsepower horse. Have we watched Horsepower yet, guys?
I've watched 3 of them.
It.
You don't look like you're happy with it.
I thought it was entertaining. I wasn't blown away.
Okay. Yep, fine.
Different audience, isn't it? Made for a different audience.
Well, I think so. I wasn't sure if you were. I think if you're a racing fan, it was very insightful, and it was great to see behind the scenes. And I did quite like the history of the Kingsclear thing and all that sort of stuff. And seeing the
I just thought if we're going to make it a bit more like Drive to Survive, I'd like to see a bit more variation with it.
Well, there was a little bit of the but the sales, it was very interesting. I just wondered if it was going to. If you didn't know much about racing, I think it would be quite confusing at times a little bit. I wasn't sure. I don't know what they were trying to do with it. But anyway, no, I enjoyed watching it. How can you not, basically, if you're not a racing fan? It's just like lifting the
I thought
fourth
the
wall,
footage and all
isn't it?
that was incredible. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously the Oshin sitting around the table.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was slightly unfortunate that it was recorded then, and he was the main focal, personally, and hopefully he comes back better and stronger and shows the world what a brilliant jockey he is. But I just thought it was unfortunate that he was the focal character and he's not even riding.
Yeah, well, there we go. All right, well, that's going to change again in February, isn't it? And he'll be back, and we're going to see him tussling, hopefully, with William Buick for next year's champion jockey. Who's going to be the champion 2-year-old coming out of this then? What is he now? 5-2, Barry. August.
Yeah, 3.6, 4.5 Epic Type is 6 Holloway Boy, 8.8 Stormbuster now.
All right, all in.
King of Steel.
Final Group 1 of the season, guys, is here.
They're going to try and winch King of Steel into the stalls here.
Okay. Is there a stall big enough for King of Steel? Captain V's. Oh no, this is the elbow horse.
The elbow horse.
Yeah, Captain V's, but they made a big investment as well. These owners as well.
Last time.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Let them go.
He can't. Whoa. Yeah, he's really rolling up, isn't he? All right, okay. All right then, and away we
Difference
do
of
go.
opinion here.
Yeah, there is. Okay, great. We're going to have a split. This is just what we want. I'll tell you what, King of Steel, he's absolutely whopping. Every time I see King of Steel, look at him. Why is he
Adam
not
Kirby's quite tall as well, though.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. On the far side, Stormbuster then. Near side, it's the big 3 in the market, near side, and I think they're off the pace slightly to my eyes. Looks like the Far Side group, who are headed by Dancing Magic and Stormbus. A lovely rhythm that one's got. He's King of Steel's there as well. Holloway Boy lit up by the Divide, definitely in front. You've got Salt Lake City 2 lengths ahead on the near side of Epitectus, and looking on from rear, Ryan Moore on the hot pot. Kate Tracey.
Oh, they're trusting the fraction set then by Wayne Lorden with Salt Lake City for the hot pot favourite there, because like you say, they're definitely behind the Far Side group.
They are indeed behind. All right, okay, where's it going to rev up then, Barry? 3.5 furlongs to go, man.
Yeah, your favourite still, Augusta Rodan at 3.139. Holloway Boy, appetite to 6.6.
Yeah, King of Steel, the once race maiden winner. He's found it coming too soon. He's rowing away. Look at this classy animal Ryan Moore's got. How will he go through the ground? Epitectus isn't liking it very much. It's still the Far Side. When does Ryan Moore let it out into rain? Here he comes then. Holloway Boy strikes then. The Cheshire winner. Epitectus is trying to come back on the near side. But at the moment, it's Far Side. It's Holloway Boy. Whoa, what's he doing? He's drifting all over the gaff. Hang on a minute. My Lord and more. Look at him. What's he doing? A furlong now. Hey, Barry. I think this is going to get the money, isn't it? What a massive price this is. We're definitely going to see a shortener for the Derby here. This has absolutely destroyed them. The right horse coming home in second and third as well. Holloway Boy, what was that all about? Near side group have done it. Holloway Boy's ended up there. Classy performance. Go back to the top of the show. What did you say, Barry? That is a proper horse.
Isn't he? Obviously, his stable companion set the right fractions on the stand side. I wonder what the other jockeys were thinking when they saw Ryan Moore and Frankie Dettori electing to go up the stand side. Did they think, oh, we've made a mistake here? But Holloway Boy's strange. I don't know whether he just put the handbrake on and wanted to get over and see if he could eyeball Augusta Rodan a bit. But yeah, he's at 3.62 Betfair SP. Your winner, Epititis. Trade at a low of 3.3 and running. Holloway Boy trade at a low of 1.49. So 2-1 on Holloway Boy in running. But yeah, we're sure to see. Have we got a quote yet? No, not yet.
Credit where it's due, guys, right? And Barry told us last week this was his anti-post bet for 2023. I think we're going to see a winter Derby favourite, no doubt there. He's beaten the right horses as well, guys, isn't he? Let's, before we go on to Holloway Boy, talk about this chap then. He definitely doesn't want heavy ground. I mean, he made that look like it was good to firm in the final furlong.
Yeah, he did. I mean, look, he's just a very good horse, though, isn't he? Yeah, as in, he, you know, the one thing you want to do in bad ground is you want to travel well. And, like, he travelled supremely well into the race. Like you say, Wayne Lorden set sensible fractions. You know, the fact they were behind at halfway, no one was panicking. Frankie Dettori and Ryan Moore certainly weren't concerned. And, like, he's taken him all the way to the furlong pole, hasn't he? You know, so, I mean, you say he doesn't want that ground. I thought he looked like he handled it fine.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Absolutely fine.
But I feel this was like Aidan O'Brien protecting the horse in case he didn't win, you know, as in...
It's like the lads have got an SP job there, haven't they?
He's trounced them, hasn't he? I mean, the fact that he's drifted out to what is a fantastically backable price, isn't he? You know, 3.25.
Well, considering yesterday when I was doing all these feature shows and, you know, we were doing all our tips and all that sort of stuff, and you're looking at 5 to 6, and I said to Keels yesterday, the Saturday Sizzler himself, I said, that's a sort of carrot dangle. Is he going to go short or is he going to go? And I was chatting to another judge that I know yesterday, and they said when it's Aidan O'Brien and it's a horse of that magnitude, and it's 5 to 6, it makes you worry slightly. He's gone all the way out to 11 to 4. You know, that's like, I mean, Aesop's Fables was easy to back. He didn't like the ground. This guy's gone through it. At what moment, Kate, do you think Ryan thought, I'm going to have to get on with this now? Because they did. I mean, Holloway Boy went clear.
Yeah, I mean, he would have had one eye over on the far side, wouldn't he? And obviously he would have known that they were in front then. But then you could just see the cracks were starting there. Dear old King of Steel didn't know what was going on this quick turnaround. He started fading out of things. It became so spread out. Didn't help Holloway Boy because he needed any sort of company just to keep his mind on the job. The first time visor didn't necessarily help with his drift then across. And it was at that point when the race started falling apart on the far side that Ryan probably just wanted for the security of God knows what Holloway Boy's ever going to do, that he then just had to get after him. But as soon as he's got him into top gear then, you see the horse pricked his ears and was just streaking away. That, like I say, he's made heavy ground look like good. I mean, what a loss that Deep Impact is really, though, as a side. I mean, how much would Coolmore have loved to have utilised that? You know, they got, I mean, Snowfall, she was Deep Impact out of a Galileo dam herself, you know, so they managed to get the Oaks win out of her then. So, I mean... She was
such a good filly.
Such a loss then herself. But would that not have been just the breeding mecca then to have taken over with all of the Galileo mares that they have.
But the dream is that this will become a superstar.
Yeah, that he'll then
as in,
take that.
like,
It's on, isn't it?
yeah, I mean,
7-2 from 7 for the Derby.
I mean, Holloway boy. I mean, he looked like Mike Bite.
What did we put him up last week at, Barry? It was 8s, wasn't it, I think?
8-1, yeah, 8 or 10, yeah.
What else have you got then, Al Riffa?
Yeah.
Chaldean.
Yeah, he's a really nice horse as well, yeah. He's a Wootton Bassett.
Yes.
And they win either way.
Yeah, so it's a win-win for Cornwall.
Storm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they don't care anymore.
I think that Epitexas is a good horse, you know.
So
he got lost in
definitely.
that ground a little bit and came back strongly there.
Yeah.
He's got a lovely way of galloping.
Yeah, he has. That was a really good July novice he won, wasn't it? The maiden that he won
Yeah.
there. Holloway boy.
He looked like Mike
So
Bite.
talented. Yeah.
He did. It was Grand Alliance at Royal Ascot, wasn't it?
Yeah,
You
it
know,
was.
it's
Yeah,
quite
running.
right.
Worse than that.
Go back to the paddock.
How
Literally,
low did he
he's come
go
across
again,
as a
Barry?
right
Holloway
angle.
boy? What price did he go at any stage?
Gone.
Wow.
Whoa. And you know, with all August Rodin, just to quickly go back to him, you know, he didn't follow the general trend for an Aidan O'Brien horse coming into this race. He was 0 from 13 with horses that had 3 or more runs coming into this, so he's broken that trend as well.
There you are. All right. So he now also, talk about breaking trends, he was joint winning trainer of the race with the great Henry Cecil.
Yes.
The great late Henry. And he's now won 11 of them. So he becomes the winning most trainer in history. And I think that is going to take a hell of a lot of beating down the line, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's just remarkable, isn't it? You can't, what would you say about him? You know, Aidan O'Brien, he just keeps looking younger to me, if anything.
Yeah.
You know, you go back and watch the great videos of him in the paddock with Isterbrack and things like that back in those days when I was getting into racing. He kind of hasn't changed that much, has he?
Not at all. No.
You know, just a great family. And
Clean living, Dave. Me and you could take a leaf out of his book.
hey, speak for yourself. Speak for yourself. 2023's our year, Barry. 2023's our year. Yeah, all right. Thirsty bear beckons. Yeah, okay, all right. So, Desperados, that end and all that sort of thing. All right, okay. So we've got one more coming from Donny. It's going to be fun, that, isn't it? We're agreeing in that. Don't give it away.
Are we?
We are. That's my winner. That's
Yeah,
where it's
let's
coming
hope
from. But hang on a minute. Look, you know, hopefully some of you took the advice. Obviously Barry was strong on it, but I did suggest that August Rodin was. He's had to be back at that price.
You
now
can claim it.
this is interesting. You're going to give me that one?
Yeah,
aren't
you can come.
Oh,
Yeah, I like
okay.
it. It's all about
You're still buying me a
confidence.
pint.
Yeah.
Andrew Conn. Welcome, Andrew. That's a good question, this. Derville Legend, the fab for the Melbourne Cup. What do we think? We saw the Geelong Cup in the week, and I thought Rodrigo Diaz ran a really interesting trial of that for the Simcox. But this chap, I think, is nothing not to like about that. James Ferguson going down there. He's got a massive chance, I think, on the first weekend of November. First Tuesday of November, isn't it, of course?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge credential, isn't he? I mean, and then James Ferguson's pretty clued up on all that sort of stuff as well, isn't he? I mean,
Because his dad has been there and done it all
we
with
saw
Cheltenham.
El Bodigan run well this morning.
El Badagan.
Badagan,
Yeah,
yeah.
of course. Now with Chris Waller, but you know, and he also
Yeah.
had Francisco Guardini won a Group 3 there, I think, at the Valley as well. So yeah, no, look, Races Stops the Nation, all that sort of thing, and we've got another cracking chance with him. Whether there's something lurking there, possibly. Yeah, like I say, Rodrigo Diaz ran a good race in the Geelong Cup. You can watch all that back, of course, and go over their websites and watch all that. Yeah, but massive chance, Andrew. Good question as well. Melbourne weather all over the place, of course. More rain expected, says Al Parks as well. The floods, of course, down in Australia at the moment. It's incredible. Right, okay. We've got to move on. Because in 4 minutes' time, we're going to see one of the plunges of the day, Barry. It's that man, Charlie Burns.
Yeah, into 3.15 and now shoot first. Yeah, it's been a big gamble. Was around 4-1, 7-2. They didn't take much chance with it, really, the books, when they were pricing up this race. He's been matched at a high on the Betfair Exchange of around 6-1, 6.8. Small money at 7.12, but his graph's only gone one way, and that's down. Like I said, 3.25 now, so 9-4. Botax has is 6.4. 8.6 Panic Attack. Antildur is 11. 18.5 Salvador Ziggy. 21 the real whacker now. That's what I fancy in it. And more importantly, it's the second leg of our double, our each way double. And it stands to win the charity, the Injured Jockeys Fund, $3,000. So fingers crossed the real whacker can do it for us. Currently 21. One in Carlisle, one in Maidenhurl in Carlisle on soft ground, and then went straight into the River Don where he finished second to Maller Mission. Maller Mission didn't disgrace himself. in the Albert Bartlett either. So he gets in here off a very workable mark of 137. Stable seems to be in decent enough form. She had a horse that ran well yesterday, Duffield, wounded knee, just got touched off in a hurdle race at Cheltenham. And yeah, obviously this is one of those races, Dave. I hate having a bet in it because it's the per temps. Now, to finish in the first 4, which is a help in terms of triers. It's interesting to see what route they'll go with the real whacker, but 137 definitely. I think he's better than that. So fingers crossed. We're already on him for the double. So I don't think we need to back him in the win market now after that. But he is 5 places to each way punters on the Betfair Sportsbook here, and we'll avail of them hopefully with our we'll get our each way part of the bet up. And fingers crossed for the win part, and we get $3,000 for the Andrew Jockeys one.
Gavin Sheehan, it's over to you. Yeah, great to see Anne Duffield with a fancy runner down at Cheltenham, that's for sure. Second in the River Don, wasn't he, of course, at Donny. Handicap debut. Kate, you're with Barry as well. You're with him on this. This is kind of like your double as well, isn't it? You had Knight as well in the first.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't believe that Barry went for the exact same 2 horses for me that I thought I was being completely original with Knight and the Real Whacker. But here we are. And it worked out first time up anyway. But yeah, the Real Whacker then for me as well. Like Barry said, is trying to figure out which of these horses wants to go close in this. At least we have it made a little bit easier for us when the Temps qualifiers. It used to be the first 8, then it was the first 6, now it's down to the first 4, and so you do have to be going close in one of these to be qualifying. But yeah, the Real Whacker though could still be anything, and as Barry said, I mean, in the River Don last time out, he just showed those signs of greenness, and he just hung in the closing stages there, but beaten by Mile Mission, 141 rated now. And he went on to run well in the Albert Bartlett and then followed up in a listed hurdle at Perth. So I just feel that if the Real Whacker had actually jumped the final flight better, then he would have pushed him a hell of a lot closer anyway. And yeah, he could well be a graded horse in a handicap here, and hopefully his inexperience won't put him to negative effect. And Anne Duffield, yeah, having a great time with things. And Golo in the Swinton last season, good run from the wounded knee yesterday at a big price. So yeah, the Real Whacker hopefully wants to go close. And
again, this starts the narrative, doesn't it, for handicap hurdles going throughout the Cheltenham. You know, Kansas City Chief won it last year. Do you remember the brilliant Kansas City Chief? The best jockey to ever come out of Jersey. Vicky Malzahn, Batchel attested.
Change of trainer.
Yes.
Oliver Sherwood now.
Yes, now with Sherwood, which is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
But these horses, they turn up at the Open meeting in December. They get their chances to run all through the winter. I like Streets of Doyen. I thought he was really well handicapped, and he could come back. He's just gone to Tom Gibney, actually. I really like him. He's got Story Rory in the race as well under young Sammy Ewing, who we saw going close in our previous race, the 3:15. But Poste, what wins?
I'm with Panic Attack, 4th in this race last year behind Kansas City Chief. Improved some blinkers on the spring, winning here and then running well at Haydock in the 3-mile race on the Swinton card.
The Panic Attack was the horse that Nat Green put up behind Beauport when she did a combination trifecta on Midlands National Day and got the 3rd place. So the mare then for Posty. Away we go. And looking straight into the lead, it looks like Davy Russell's gone on to lead here on Lieutenant Highway.
Kansas City not getting his own way out in front.
Very progressive horse, but Vicky Malzahn is trying to do something about that. Botox has very interestingly, because he runs well over the 3 miles, but he's definitely got a bit of speed about him.
Yeah.
He's in second as well. Streets of Doyen, I'm in 3rd place. I'll tell you what was that?
Larry into the first, wasn't he?
Lieutenant Highway.
Yeah, didn't do Botox too many favours, did he?
Maybe having to sit.
Botox has ended up doing a wheelie through that.
Where's the Whacker? The Real Whacker.
Whacker is further back. Whacker
Second
is in the last 3, yeah.
Second last. Nice and confident, Barry. That's what we want. Okay, the Grey. Antyre, who always seems to run good races, this
Apart
chap.
from when Kate backed him and he unseated at this meeting, I think it was.
Literally the only time he's not hit the top 2, isn't it, that one? Where's Salvador Ziggy for Jack Kennedy? Looking for that one.
He's
midfield. All right, midfield sit. All right, okay. Moon King is up there as well. Former good stayer on the flat now with Charlie Lawson. They paid loads of money. Bradley Roberts getting a good spin out of him at the moment. Panic Attack in midfield as well, Posty?
Yeah, Panic Attack is quite comfortable. You know, Tom Scudamore riding her with a bit of room, but yeah, jumping away well enough early doors.
All right, okay, so nice all to play for them. Shoot first. Where are we? Right in the middle pack.
Right in the middle. Loads of space around him though. Yeah, and everything. So all going well for Charles Burns, his runner.
Shoot first, hoping to hit the target then for Philip Burns, the son of Weston, who's
Claxon.
Who's absolutely who's not got very many miles on the clock, has he? And probably going to come on a lot for that last one. He was beaten favourite last time with this dold, of course, but coming over here, trying the new trip and going very well in the midfield. Getting excited. If you've got some fancy prices about him, he's won about 6-1 yesterday, I think. There you go. You can see him up there. He must have touched around about the 9-4 mark, didn't he? All right, Barry, we've got one more circuit to go in a bit.
Yeah, Charles Burns' horse now, Shoot First, 3.85. 8-2 Salvatore Ziggy that travels well in midfield in those pink colours. He's come in for some support. Aldur is 9.2. 7-6 Panic Attack. In terms of the ones in front, 8.6 Botas has, and Lieutenant Highway is out to 30.
All right, OK. The best handicapped horse running anywhere in the country, said Paul Keeley in his Sizzlers, if you're reading that. And he'll be very happy. It's his nap time, of course, absolutely, as well. He said he'll be watching.
Who's that, Dave?
That was Keels.
Yeah, which horse?
Botox, who went up just a
Botox,
pound for winning our national spirit chase, basically, at Fontwell. You know, the race that Barracuda used to come over for, and all that sort of stuff. Who's this catching my eye as well in about 4th spot? Story Rory, the other Gibney horse. He's got a lovely little rhythm about him. OK, all right. Didn't do anything for you, that one?
No, that was a nod in agreement.
Didn't do that. All right, OK. They're going a bit of a gallop now,
plenty of them are travelling well, aren't they? As you'd expect the circuit to go. I mean, like
Kansas
it's
City
not
Chief
really
just
unfolded.
is sulking now.
Yeah, OK, all right. So it's interesting tactics, this, isn't it, on the Gordon Elliott horse? Because you've got the other one in the midfield, haven't you?
I mean, he does go forwards, this
well.
lad, but he is really trapping on.
And Salvatore Ziggy's 1-1-1-1-1. Having a great summer, isn't he? So once again, we get that summertime. It now meets the winter. When does it become one of discontent? Magaloni out the back as well. Who was that?
Lieutenant Highway there in front.
That was the same one next time around.
And then Bradley Moon King, Bradley Roberts, he seems very anxious to try and get this horse to move up size. He's come round them, outside them, he's been chased away down the back to try and get him even more closer to the lead.
I don't like the way the Whacker's going, guys.
No, Whacker
he's sort of...
No, me neither.
Flat out.
No, he's way off the pace, isn't he? He's just
He
been
hasn't
chivvied
really
around.
jumped too slick either. The ground might be a bit lively for him, or he might come back on it, but he seems a bit awkward over them.
Yeah, he's got a lot to do from there, as the exchange is telling us. He's just a bit slow, isn't he? A bit slummy. Looks a big chaser in the making, that chap. All right, what's this in the red that's coming? Silver Sheen, first run for Fergal O'Brien. Paddy Brennan's starting to get a little bit warmer in the saddle. Oh, where's this plunge horse then?
I'm not sure Botox has is going that well, you know, as in Jamie Moore slapping down the shoulder. Looks uncomfortable.
No, he's gone all the way out to 30s and bigger, 33s now. He's still there, though, of course. Kansas City Chief putting it up. It's a great sight, isn't it, to see this? He gets... We could get a little bit panic attack now.
Well, am I getting a panic attack? No, I mean, I'm
which one?
comfortable.
Salvatore Ziggy.
This is
Charles Burns horse got the inside.
I mean, it's gone
it's
even
running
money
away.
now, Barry,
It's running away.
Dennis Hogan's horse, so the outsider of the field.
There are challenges as Lieutenant Highway drops away. Botox Haas is in front, and they'll be desperate to get him in the top 4, that's for sure.
He doesn't want to get there too
What's
soon.
this Moon
Daniel
King there
King
as
on
well?
Magaloni.
Silver Sheen coming yet. Salvador Ziggy is the challenger. John Joe Jr., he's there as well on Anti-Air. Very consistent horse. Here comes the gamble then. Just get him over the line, they'll have told him. Panic Attack, though, not moving. Tom Scudamore. Streets of Doyen falls in a hole. I'll tell you what, the real whacker's running on. Surely all too late, though. And, OK, what's this as well? Magaloni there as well. I tell you what, this is not going to be plain sailing, I don't think.
2-1 on.
Two's on.
It's a long way from home.
It's a long way from home, and he's not just a little
Botox has coming back on the bridle.
Botox has went all the way out to 33, still there. Now Salvador Ziggy, Panic Attack just feeling the go. Now the gamble is lifted. Lift him, they'll be saying, Patrick. No, tell you what, Gordon Elliott might be the most troublesome. Botox has is trying to come back. Kills will be absolutely screaming at the telly. But he's cocked his jaw, this lad. He's over the last. This is going to be a case of gamble landed, isn't it? He's coming back, Botox has. He's run a blinder. Anti-Air's going to get that 4th place for the qualifier. Tell you what, he's running all over. He's doing a Holloway boy here.
Yeah.
He's going all over the place. Heart in mouth
straight.
time there. 107. This is gamble landed. Doesn't he get it right? It is remarkable. He came over for the Cesarowicz. Something one like it. It hadn't even been in a race. This wasn't too far off that, Barry. And didn't he make sure?
Yeah, he's had a bit in hand there, hadn't he? 3.60, so just a little over 5-2 at Betfair SP for Shoot First. Botox has in running hit a low of 4.9. There's nothing else really traded short in running. Salvador Ziggy 2.30, which is just 11-8.
Yeah.
mission accomplished for the horse that finished fourth, John Joe O'Neill on Pallure.
Wow. Okay then. Yeah. Just look. They duck him, don't they? It was 6-1 yesterday. They kind of waited for the Botox has support and then went in. I think that's got. We were looking at it this morning, and it was mainly around about 11 o'clock this morning. You know, I said, "Wow, is this guy's Botox has isn't going to go off favourite."
I mean, he won with loads in hand.
If you're on Botox Hash, you're thinking, hang on a minute, there's another very well handicapped horse in the race.
We might not just have this quite as easy as we thought.
Yeah, he's run very well, Botox Hash, though, hasn't he? Yeah,
he looked,
probably just needed it.
Yeah, I was going to say, he looked a bit rusty, didn't he? Like, I suppose if Cheltenham in March is the plan, they're kind of happy out, aren't they? Because they've achieved the first four.
Yeah, well, exactly. Antayer was fourth, wasn't it? Was Salvador Ziggy third?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so Irish take the last three races.
Ominous.
Have they got anything in the bumper?
Yeah, isn't it? Just, sets the precedent.
All right, one more to come from Donny here on Racing Post Live. Your afternoon's not over with us. What do you make of August Rodan, guys? Jumpers to follow. We've got a little bit of time to get some more comments from you out there. Let us know where you are as well. There's some brilliant Australians, Barbados, wherever you are, let us know. Even if you're in Skegness, let us know. The mighty Skegness. All right, shoot first. Yeah, a lot of good chat coming on. True man, that burns. A lot of people saying out there. Indeed.
How well handicapped he was from that second on his penultimate.
He's got there way too soon as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, the last thing you really want the top of the hill there at Cheltenham is it opening up in front of you and
one mission there.
Tanking.
Do not come back with anything but a one next to your name.
Yeah.
You know, because
exactly.
he made his move. 2 out, didn't he? And you were like, all right, okay, this is on.
Yeah.
Yeah, thou shalt not pass sort of thing. And he's veered around in front. So
dropped his left rein.
Yeah, I mean,
he's obviously going to go for the final now.
Watching it back,
you
probably wish he didn't pick his stick up, if you know what I mean. Keep two hands on the reins and just keep nudging the horse out.
But what do you do now for the rest of the season with him until the Potemps? Do you literally just not bother because he's going to be... What can he do?
You'd probably put him away, wouldn't you? He's obviously a horse that wants maybe a sound surface potentially as well.
Is he rated there, 129?
129, yeah.
So he's going to go up to about 135. Will he get in?
Oh, he should be fine on that, I think. He should be fine on
I think
135.
last year, I think the bottom weight was something, a bit of an anomaly.
Yeah,
I remember
they say it's normally
mid-130s. You want to be
130s,
mid-130s to secure a place.
It's like they know what they're doing, isn't it?
129. Yeah, your man's claimed 7 off it as well.
Yeah, well, he's shown good skills there, but he's obviously just just get the win, Dad. I'm assuming it is his son, by the way.
Don't know.
I'm not too sure, but anyway.
I don't think so.
No, just a. It can't. It's got to be a relation, isn't it?
Like
it's like Tommy Orr turning up and repping you, Barry. He's got to. Yeah, but that would be unheard of, wouldn't it? I think. He didn't look too impressed about that, Tommy. No, that's not going to happen, mate. All right, one more to come from Donny then.
Other end of the spectrum now.
Oh, it's an easy
it got a little bit easier. The first leg of the double went in. Unfortunately, the real whacker looked like he really needed his seasonal return there. Close, but no cigar. Okay, for the double that would have paid 110 to 1. But hopefully most of you are on night in the first with Barry and Kate as well. Wide open this one then, Barry, as ever. They're making it hard for us, aren't they?
Yeah, like Charlie says there, from one end of the spectrum to the other, 3 miles staying handicap hurl to a 5 furlong handicap sprint. Count Dorsey, your favourite at the moment at 6.0, 8.4 Lullaby Bay, Fast Response 9, 7.8 Vintage Claret, well supported, money for that. Kim and Grace out to 10.5, 12 when the deal is done, Designers 12.5. I fancy laying. Kim and Grace was a lot shorter. It's another one that's drifted significantly out to 10.5 now. We're going to let the place market, please, Kate. We're going to look at 3 places on the Betfair Exchange.
Yeah.
And currently in the 3-place market, 3.65. So a little under 11 to 4. We're going to take 25 quid at the backer stake. Happy to take that as well.
Perfecto. That's a good way, isn't it?
We've got Kim and Grace for Richard
Yeah, I
Hughes.
just thought she's a consistent filly this season, but her win last day, like when she eventually got her head in front, she's gone up £8 for that. So she went from 85 up to a 93 rated filly now. I think that could, even with Ryan Moore in the plate, I think that could be just beyond her.
All right, okay, all right, fine. And of course, was in when winning had Count Dorsey behind, people backing that form to be reversed under Sam James. Draw here might be quite interesting, mightn't it, considering that previous race? You have to think that the O'Brien team walked the walked the track, of course, and they said, you know, that's where the best ground is on the stand side rail. This could get a bit messy, couldn't it? Kate, you currently are holding the trophy for Max Vega. I think we can say that.
Yeah, we started the day so well, didn't we? And then Cheltenham kind of got in the way of it.
What is going to bookend the card for you?
Oh, see, now I'm nervous because Count D'Orsay, I love, and I thought I would have every chance here. His time of year, softer ground, ran an absolute blinder against the draw bias last time out at Catterick, where the race beforehand, it was all stand side. When we know that the ground goes soft at Catterick,
You've got to be on that rail.
You've got to come to the rail. You've got to come stand side. Yet still 7 of them went over to the far side in that race.
Jockeys, eh?
Yeah, exactly. And Count D'Orsay did best of those on that far side, and he just ran a blinder, running off the same mark here. But I think he's drawn wrong again now.
Okay.
Which is very frustrating.
Look, the first 3 in the market. In fact, all the single figure stalls, aren't they? Count D'Orsay, Fav, 2. Vintage Claret's the horse that was in that Kim and Grace race as well. In 3. Fast Response, 4. Lullaby Boy, quite interesting, Franny Norton.
7.
That's in 7. Kim and Grace is in 8. And Designer, who's also can still do it, I think, for Ryan Sexton. John Butler is on number 6. When the deal's done, is a 9. We like the chap in stall 10.
We do.
And I mean, I'm having someday, you must be very confident that my luck is going to shine off to you in the lucky last.
Yeah, but I think you're coming with a late rattle here.
As ever.
Yeah.
As ever.
So, yeah, it came from the dark for you and I, isn't it?
It is. Take it away.
He's a group class sprinter.
This is a project for me, this horse. I've got to get this out of the way.
I mean, crikey, he started off the season rated 108. He's down to 102 now.
Yeah.
He has had wind issues before. I'm pretty sure he's won second time after a wind up as well, and that's our angle right now. We're off 102, and we've got Safi Osborne on, taking on off an additional £3. And by luck, I'm going to say, rather than judgment, it looks like we're on the right side as well.
It wasn't... Okay, all right. It wasn't that bad behind Manican.
No, it was better.
How did Manican get on last night at Dundalk? I didn't see that. He ran at Dundalk, didn't he? Oh, he won. He beat Logo Hunter.
I think he's a really good young sprinter, Manican.
Manican, yeah. That was a very popular win last night. I knew quite a few people that were siding with John.
I was here, I was.
Yeah, when he won last time. And John said straight away, we'll go to Dundalk. I bet they look at Maidan now. It's just good prize money over there, isn't it? They probably will. Loads of people have projects in this race out there, guys, won't they? Lots of favourites out there.
Of Cliff horses and
Sunday Sovereign one. What's another one for me? Nomadic Empire. I'm not backing these horses today. And again, Reffin Keels, Paul Keeley, he has what he calls annoyance bets. So if a horse, what horse would really annoy me if it won? So he'll have like 5 on it.
What, so he'd feel better?
Which one?
Came from the dark.
Yeah.
That would really annoy me if that one here.
Well, me and Charlie are on it, Barry.
You may back it, Barry, then.
Barry is cut out there, yeah. I backed him last day in Ascot.
I remember.
It's his second time off the wind up for his run, so that could be the difference. But if he wins, oh man,
we'll give it a bit of a cheer, will we?
We'll make you feel better if he wins.
Make you feel better. And Safi Osborne, of course, another great season for Safi, leading rider at the Racing League, of course. She's just such a good talker. She's a bit of breath of fresh air, Safi, isn't she? She had a horrible injury, didn't she? And came back so well off that. And she's doing really well for Ed Walker as well. I can just see him running a big race. I think he'll really like the ground, and it's still there with him, I think. He's 6, he'll be 7-year-old next year, but yeah, like I say, all right, okay. Let's get some more socials then. We're getting towards the end of the show. It's been great to have you with us this afternoon, guys. Loads of you watching out there. And Al Park says, hey, Victoria, Australia here. Loving the live stream. Happy days. My brother-in-law lives down there.
Really?
You met him, haven't you?
Have you ever been to Australia, Dave?
Oh, do you know what, Barry? I have a couple of times. I don't mind watching a bit of Australian racing. I think I don't know.
You know what I watched the other day?
If it ever goes,
And the klaxon.
If it ever goes tits here, I'll go and see my brother-in-law lives in St Kilda. Bruce Millington's son used to live in St Kilda. He's come back to Sam now as well. It's a beautiful part of the world. That. Al, whereabouts in Victoria are you? Let us know. Great to have you watching.
I'd like watching the Aussie rules now and again. Do you ever watch that? Yeah.
Yeah, you would do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's almost like a sport that doesn't exist. Do you know what I mean? Aussie rules. I don't see it much. I don't know. It's a Rugby League World Cup at the moment, isn't it? You watching that?
Watching bits of that, yeah.
All right, okay.
Well, maybe we should go out to Australia and go to an Aussie rules game.
That would be some crack, wouldn't it?
Just an excuse.
That would be some crack. I might have to get Barry to fund it, but I don't know. Maybe I could convince him to come and watch some Australian racing with me.
Yeah.
He probably can't think of anything worse.
We could tie it in with the Melbourne Cup. Maybe we go for that.
Oh, ever been to a Melbourne Cup?
No, I'd like to.
No, bucket list stuff. Bucket list.
Flemington. Flemington, Al. It's a great place, isn't it? It's all literally, imagine Royal Ascot, but everything in Flemington is about the racecourse. It's like a one-way systems and all that sort of thing to get
Just
in and out.
all around the racecourse.
Perfect raceco experience.
You know what I saw? Kieran Mars, a video on his stable tour the other day of his yard. Oh my God.
spent some
I've
time
never
over here,
seen
hasn't he?
anything as good in my life.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
They do cover it very well. It's
Like
easier
it-
for them to do
All
it
his
because
facilities were just ridiculous.
you know,
He
Racing
schools horses
Victoria
for the
own
crack.
their own jurisdiction, so they, we can watch it. You can watch it free. You can go on, racing.com and just watch it all for free. Just imagine that here. Different tracks.
They are the future.
But they're
lagging.
They keep it simple, don't they? Each state has its own rules and things like that, and it's much more open to punters as well.
Yeah.
Andy Sim comes back on fast response each way. Interesting, catches my eye from stall 4. Clifford Lee and Carl Burke, hoping for some better luck than they had with the errant but ever so talented Holloway boy. Slowly away, in rear last time, ran on, got there at the finish. Nottingham beating Lord Ridderford, who's a friend of ours on the show as well. Yeah. Striking while the iron's hot, basically, Andy, with this. Tommy Orr comes back on. Now that he knows he's not going to get a job, and says 5 furlongs. Kim and Grace should win this 5 furlong handicap race. That's the trade, isn't it, Kim and Grace, of course. And Toon 2020 says Copper Knight loves soft ground and was second in this last year. All right, Toon, let's have a little look at that. I'm sure you are right. Yeah. Let's get it up. I'm going to get it up. We saw Max Vega second, didn't we, in the St Simon Stakes last year, went and won it. Let's hope he does a Max Vega for you then. Copper Knight, indeed, he won it, didn't he?
No, I was going to say he dead heated in it, didn't he?
Yeah, dead heat with Boundless Power. Who was banging form, wasn't he, for Mick Appleby, of course. All right, OK, we're nearing the final race of the day. We're together. A reminder, Kate, Count d'Orsay.
Yeah, to overcome.
You're not filling people with confidence.
She's half-hearted.
I don't know,
think people are going to press the other button, aren't they?
He has to come good. He has to come good. Not such a solid run last time out. So yeah, Count d'Orsay with conditions to suit, just potentially not a draw, but.
Well, high draws have been the way to go here in this race since Jack Dexter. I said again to the guys just there in the office, I was like, we're going to need Jack Dexter this week, aren't we, in this ground? He just loved the slot, didn't he, for Jim Goldie? He took this out in 2012 before he went on to prove himself Group 1 sprinter. From stall 22 of 21, 16, 17, 17, 17, whoever's in stall 17. And just...
2 in 2020, though?
Venturous, wasn't it? Of course. Again, you're seeing draws, a lot higher draws than we got. Again, it's been a theme of the year, isn't it, on the flat? We're not filling these races like we used to, for whatever reason. But you were saying about, you boringly came in talking about the weather earlier. Oh, we need the rain, we need the rain, we need the rain, we need the rain. It's the start of the point-to-point season at the first weekend in November.
Yes.
Are you going to have any runners?
Potentially we might do, yeah.
Oh, changed his tune a bit now, hasn't he? We were talking about this before we came in. But why not? Oh, there's no rain.
No, I didn't say that. You're putting words in my mouth. I said, for the young horses we're going to run, it's the wrong tracks.
Fran's watching this out there. She's like, he's only always moaning about the rain days, probably going to say. But look, the rain is there, and we are seeing some
There's strong
well-subscribed
entries at the end of the week, you know, as in Wetherby and Utah, so there's a lot
that
of
Utah
entries.
meeting's a really good meeting, actually.
Yeah.
You can see, because the novice handicap chase
You
always
always get
works
some really
out well.
good horses that rock up for that, yeah. Great.
All right, there's a social coming up. Who have we got? They're keen to get this one in from Sam Davenport. Richard Fahey has been flying recently. Vintage Claret worth a bet here, I reckon. Well, he's got form, hasn't he, with Kim and Grace and Count d'Orsay. Good luck, Sam Davenport, to you. He's now made his way into favourite, hasn't he, Barry, for the Vintage? Vintage Claret's now the market leader.
Vintage Clouds is now the market leader, yeah. Just give me 1 second. Sorry, Court. Vintage Clouds is 5.1, yeah. 6.6 fast response, 7.6 Count d'Orsay, and 8.8 Lullaby Bay. Sorry, I was just listening to Charles Burns there. 135 should get him into the Vertems. And you won't see the horse again till March. That'll be his next
Actually, brilliant.
Kel Surprise. All right then. Okay, we're off and running then in the last race.
We've got a
That's
split.
Good luck whichever way you play. We have got a split, and again, like in the Vertem, they're going faster on the far side. Count d'Orsay's right up there. You'll be happy with that, Kate. Copper Knight's there. Vintage Claret's there as well. Designer's there. Looking for fast response. He's over there. What have we got? Lullaby's over there as well. Just another bottle. The old boy on the near side. Came to the dark. I'm loving this posting.
Yeah, we're travelling strong. Aren't we? Following just another bottle. We're happy at the moment.
You just need to keep him there. Just another bottle's there. So, Nomadic Empire.
I think we're in front this side now.
We're coming there, aren't we? Come on then, the dark. I'll tell you what, we're just about to get in front. Nomadic Empire, this would annoy me. He's not quite feeling... Come on, is he going to get there? This bloke. This could, when the deal is done, is the danger, isn't it?
Look
On the
like.
far side,
No,
they're
it's
just
far
ahead,
side's in
actually.
front now.
Okay, well, this is going to be typical,
Fast-
isn't it? We're going to win the near
fast
side. He's
response.
fallen in a hole, came for the dark.
Yeah.
Fast response.
Philly.
Well done. Was that Andrew Sim that put that
Yeah,
up, wasn't it?
well
done,
striking.
mate. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Striking
There
while
you
it's
go.
hot. Designer, good yardstick in second. When the deal is done, stroke clear of the rest on the near side. For Roger Teal. All right, then, the final race of the day, that is it. Fast response. It has been that from you guys all afternoon. Really enjoyed it.
Loved it.
Yeah.
August
great.
Rodan, when's the derby or not?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a convert now.
Well, we know what you think, Barry. Another sterling weekend, my man.
Yeah, I think we got our lay in the last race as well. Kim and Grace was beat out. But yeah, top bomb and Kate, well done you. Some massive pips.
Aw, thanks,
Some
Barry.
big price winners. Good stuff. Well done, Charlie, as well. And see you all again next week. hopefully.
Brilliant. Cannot wait, Barry. Absolutely. Charlie Hall time next week. We get the jumpers going now, don't we? We bid farewell to the Group 1 action here domestically as well. Well done to Sam and Dave in the gallery. Well done to Jack, who's been doing all the clips for us this afternoon. For myself, Dave Orton, I might just go and have a little tipple now with the guys. Maybe you enjoy one if you've had a good day as well. This has been Racing Post Live.
Well done to you as well.